Hello. Welcome back to another Monday.
Hello,
Monday.
everybody. Hello.
Hi, Audrey. How you doing today?
Pretty good today.
How you doing, everybody out there? Weiss King, nice to see you. Hello, hello. So, how was your weekend? Did you do anything fun,
Um,
exciting?
I ended up in the middle of nowhere.
The middle of
We didn't
nowhere.
yeah, we didn't really have a Weiss event planned because it's a fifth Saturday of the month. And I left it open to possibly do something. Then I decided not to do something, but then it got to be over 100 degrees in the area, so my house was burning up. So Ben and I got in the car and drove.
Nice.
And we took a very rustic rural trip to Bloomington, Indiana.
Okay. And that's
We
in the
we
middle
were
of
in
nowhere?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. What do they have?
Nothing actually. That was
Okay.
part of the problem.
Uh,
We wanted to go to a brewery in a really small town east of Terre Haute. And then
okay.
we went there and it was a like small mom and pop spot, local town that only had like 4 beers on tap and 2 of them were sold out. So he had a couple beers, we got some games in, and then got in the car and like what do we do now? Because neither of us wanted to go home because it was hot. So I started looking up breweries in Bloomington because that's like the closest big town other than Terre Haute. And we were in Terre Haute all the time. So, why not try something new? And it took us through a lot of rural gravel roads. And then we got to the brewery and they sucked.
Gravel roads. So you're what?
Yeah.
You were off
A
the
lot of
beaten
gravel roads in
track.
the middle of nowhere between
Literally.
farmland.
Literally off the beaten track. Okay, well, I mean, that sounds pretty awesome.
Ugh.
Yeah, at least you got out
Yeah.
about, nothing crazy. Rudy
Oh,
just posted a Quince opening.
oh man. How
Hmm.
long you say booyah, how long is it? How long's the video?
You're gonna have.
We need to do a live. We could do a live response to this.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh
No, that wouldn't
yes,
be good.
yes,
That wouldn't be
yes.
good.
Then I get to yell at Rudy where people can hear me.
Yeah. 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 Maybe, maybe at some point when we got some time. Maybe I'll do that on the last one. How about that? Save it up for the last one. So,
Oh,
yeah, my what is it? My last stream. So, let's see, 16 minutes. Damn, that's a long opening.
that's short.
For well, no, he must have opened a bunch of boxes because
It's two
doesn't normally
boxes.
does one. Yeah, he doesn't normally do
Does
one.
2 boxes. He does 2 boxes and he slow rolls them because he wants to see what the comments look like.
Yeah.
No, you say booyah. It isn't the cards that he's opening that I want to respond to. It's the dumb shit he spewed. Oh,
Nice.
damn, Brandon. Congrats.
No, so do you know why Lancer Link is all excited and why I brought up Build Divide and I can't find it right now? It's because Lancer Link opened the Mai card. He got the Mai, the
Ooh,
one from the TD that accidentally ended up in the booster box.
yeah.
Yeah, he pulled that one, and I think people were saying it's like what, $500.
Yeah.
So it's a crazy day, right? It's a crazy exciting day, and I'm trying to find a picture of it, but it's like,
That's a freaking awesome hit.
all right,
Because
hold
both
on.
of them, if I remember correctly, is a bear to get hits in. It's pretty hard.
Let me find it real quick. Give me 1 second. And look off here to
Well,
this side.
while you're looking at that, I'm going to respond to Lancer Links here. Yeah, it really is. And most of it's bullshit. It's the problem. I mean, I love Rudy. I wear my Alpha Investments t-shirt, but I want him out of Weiss.
Here you go.
Well,
This one.
let Big B join him on a video and teach him Weiss.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he needs to know about Weiss. Like as in like Rudy is his own person. Nothing bad or anything about that. It's just like um I think with the amount of time and work he has, I think he probably wants to know more, but at the same time there's only so much capacity in the day. I think this is it. It'd be cool if he wanted to learn more. I'd definitely tell him anything he wanted to know, but I think that's where we are. But Lance Links pulled this. That's all that matters, right? So you got that one. We got our buddy girl right here. Check her out. I know it's sitting at 500. People have been buying it around that price. So I think it's pretty good. And this isn't even the chase card of the set. Not even the hardest I've heard to pull. This one is. This $1,000 my card is the one. Yes? How about that? You
Yes,
like that
it
one?
is.
Yeah.
I really like the art on that one.
No
Actually, I like
giant
it better than
text
the bunny.
box. Yeah, the art looks really nice. I like the blue. The blue we got going on there. So yeah, I mean, when you think about Build Divide, most people probably don't really know all that much about it. But as you can see here, in Build Divide, you can actually have some decently expensive, sought after cards. Decently expensive. I'm not saying everything. You can see right here, 100, 140, 80 bucks. But yeah, there's I mean there's two right here. Or three, I guess you could say, or four. This whole top row. Just go for the whole top row.
I've
So
seen it. I've seen a lot of Build Divide ripped. I've never seen it played.
yeah, yeah, I haven't seen so either, but the cards look nice. The foil looks nice, and I like this one. If I gotten one of this, it would be this one. I'd hope for this one actually to be my favorite of the group. So yeah, congrats. You got it on the first box. Oh, Hollow Live 2. I don't know where I'm gonna talk about Hololive 2, but there we go. That's your Build Divide update. If you still wanted it, they do have some left on here. I'm not pushing Ami Ami or anything. I'm just saying anybody that wanted it, it's still sitting on this website here. Max quantity 8. So there it is. So it's still available. Not so it was sold out for a while. I know people kept buying in and out of it, but still basically available for you. There you go. I bought my boxes off of Ami Ami, so don't get that. Don't get that because you already pulled the card that most people wanted. Okay.
Well, no, if he knocked out that card, he didn't knock out the money card.
Oh, the big one? The big
Yeah.
money card, yeah. I guess. There's something to be said about that. So,
Joshua Bixby, you're probably right in all honesty. You're probably spot on with that assessment. And Lancerlings, I didn't watch the New Girls. I watched the preview and I'm not eh. It wasn't really exciting. I may eat those words later, but not they didn't really visually stand out to me or like get me really ready to watch them. But I did watch Kanata, Iris's and Bay's karaoke stream that was associated with that last night.
have you seen any of the Hololive Weiss Schwarz ambassadors do anything for the English release? Anybody? I haven't.
I haven't, but I started watching Hololive after it was done. So let's see what set 2 does after release.
No, I know, but they actually had ambassadors, right? That
Yeah.
they were yeah. So it's like you would think leading up to it they might do something for English. You know, like even Ruby, right? They had the voice actresses do a video. Not voice actresses, but they animated something for Ruby promotionally. I was hoping the Hololive, and if they haven't done anything, if they've done something and I missed it, that's my fault. But I was hoping more of the ambassadors would do more because Kiara is one of them. I'd love to see more. Have like a little promo video about English coming out. That would be really. You would think you would try to promote your English one. People are gonna see it. I get it. Maybe you don't need to, but what's the point of the ambassadors? I'm not really sure at this
Push it in
point.
Japan.
I guess. I guess. I don't know. I feel like
I really wanted to be positive today, but you're really making me negative because I have to point out that Bushiroad USA is not exactly good with advertising.
Yeah, no, I mean like the Japanese side one, like of the two, English or Japanese format, like which one needed the more advertising?
I agree, but
I don't know. I just okay,
the
well,
advertising budget only covers Japan, apparently.
okay, yeah. Well, I guess that's it. Yeah. Brandon G. I bit the bullet and pre-ordered a Dengeki Valko case. When did you pre-order that, anyways? I'm just kind of curious on when you purchased that. I know there's some still floating out there. we keep playing Watami and Pokemon. This freaking heart is blocking the way. I can't see my chat for TCG news. Yeah, we need some more. We need some more things happening with Hollow Live. I think again the whole early release for English side really kills it, because it's like, well, we already kind of knew it was out there a month ago at Anime Expo, and then since then it really hasn't felt like there's much to me. I know they do the card of the day, but really it doesn't do all that much for me. The card of the day.
If you want to see the cards, just go to Whatnot right now.
Yeah, all the openings.
I got messaged in a Discord, a person posting a picture of a seller who goes, "Please don't ask me. I don't have Hololive Volume 2."
Yeah, that was great. I love that. Yeah, so Hololive 2 is already out there. It's gonna be an interesting go at it because we know how much. Where's my freaking link? How much these costed back in the, I don't know. I'm not prepared for Hollow. I honestly am not prepared in any. Here we go. Here's Hololive. Hololive 2. In any form. Right. Yo, it's not even zooming in. It hate Hololive. Okay, now it's zooming in like crazy. Here we go. What's our big lady Suisse? There she is. 498,000 yen gets her. If you want her. One left in Japanese. Or you could just wait for the English release. Look at that Noelle. Taking a little bath. Taking a little bath in there. There she is. Look at her. Okay. Yeah, Suisse only 500,000 yen. Seems pretty amazing. And we got some Guras and all that. We got a decent amount of supply here. So English is coming. It's gonna be a day. I guess really you got it through Card Punk. Are you guys in the US? Yes, we are in the US. I take it by you saying that maybe you are not in the US. Well, how about this? How much do you think the price of play sets for Hololive 2 will be?
I already can confirm sales data.
I go for it.
I know of one that sold for $180 and
$180.
And probably if you add all the cards in mine would have been around $150 to $180. So mine was missing cards because I got it so early. But yeah, I know of one sold for $180. I've suspected.
I mean in English?
Yeah.
In English.
Yeah.
Oh, you already got yours. You did get. Okay. I don't know why I thought it was Japanese for some reason.
I bought mine 80% done. Because because mine came out of AX boxes.
Is that really 16 double rares?
I know of one that sold yesterday for $180, and I think there's going to be another one sold from that same person for $180.
$180, which I would imagine is fairly cheap given that there's 16 double. Is that really 16? I gotta check here. Hold on a second. 16 double rares.
Oh, it's 16.
Holy crap. Okay, 180. So this is going to be very fun. Yeah, so let's see. Okay, today.
But that goes in, but to be honest, we can address that with something else you're planning on bringing up today anyway.
Which I'm doing right now. So basically, what I'm about to do here is one of those things where if anybody, this is my warning to all of you again, if you haven't been here for this, is like, I don't want anybody disrespecting anybody. No going deep on someone, saying someone's name or anything like that. If you do, I will ban you. That's not even a joke. I mean, people have been banned by me before. They know it. I unbanned like a whole lot of people. And I will do the same thing tonight if someone goes. So out there on Facebook, there was a little post. I should just flip to that. No. There was a post out there there's a post that I wanted to talk about, and inside of the post was something about the convenience cost. So if you look at the title of the stream today, it says the cost of convenience. And so what I wanted to do was just come out here and I looked up Pizza Hut because I'm a fan of Pizza Hut. Do you like Pizza Hut at all?
I haven't had Pizza Hut in years.
Oh, and it's nostalgia for me because back in the day, obviously, my family was decently poor, I will say, and that's not a bad thing. I'm happy that I grew up and my parents taught me the values that they taught me. Right, so that's where the whole budgeting thing comes out. But every now and then, as in maybe like once, twice a year, our parents will take us to Pizza Hut. And the cool part about Pizza Hut, I remember, is they have that little Pac-Man game out there in the front, and then they had a sit down where you can eat your pizza. So it wasn't like a Domino's or anything like that. We actually had the whole sit down. It was really nice. So we would go out there once or twice a year, and it always brings me back to those wonderful memories. And when I thought about pizza, I thought about Pizza Hut, and then I think about how much would it actually cost me to make a pizza, right? So I went out here onto internet and I found that I don't know if this is true, but it feels like it's really expensive. It says homemade pizza is $5.41. Pizza Hut large one topping pizza is $9.99. So given that number, Audrey and everybody out there in the chat world, what would you do? Would you attempt to make your own homemade pizza for $5.41 or buy that Pizza Hut pizza for $9.99? I know, so you can substitute Pizza Hut with any pizza that you like. I know there's other people out there that's like, screw Pizza Hut. I want to eat, what would you want to eat? Papa John's? Domino's? What's your favorite pizza? Or is it like a local pizza?
I like Domino's and Blaze.
Domino's. Okay, what would you say? What was the other thing?
Blaze.
Blaze? Never heard of it.
Yeah, they're a franchise. They're a franchise chain owned by LeBron James.
Oh, okay.
And you go in and they ask you, you can order a personal pizza for $12 with a drink, and they pretty much make it to your order with.
Oh, so like a Chipotle.
You can put anything on it that you could possibly put on a pizza.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I know oftentimes mine ends up with like grilled chicken, bacon, and broccoli. Yeah,
Broccoli.
I mean, they offer me broccoli on my pizza.
Oh no. I don't know. I think I was with you until the broccoli part. That might be. Wait, how about this?
You do it with a white sauce, and it turns into like a breaded version of broccoli chicken Alfredo.
Broccoli chicken Alfredo. I think I just don't want the broccoli. I'll take cauliflower. How about I sub it out and I'll go with cauliflower?
They surprisingly don't have cauliflower, else I'd do it.
What?
Yeah.
What? Okay. Yeah, you could do similar quantity. So you make pizza at home for. There is no way you make pizza at home for $5.41. That seems too expensive to me. I swear I can make it for lower.
Your cheese bags are like $2-3 a piece. Your pepperoni's $2-3 a piece.
No, but like the amount of you're not using all that cheese on the one pizza. You should like divided it all out. There's no way that it equals $5.41. It's gotta be lower. I can make a pizza lower than $5. That I guarantee. There is no way. A pepperoni pizza I can make for less than $5.41.
Well, let's see.
Well, anyways.
This could be the most expensive part. So let me look up pepperoni on Walmart.com.
Did I ever tell you how I proposed to my wife? I know this. I'm totally going.
We are really going off the rails.
I'm going off the rails. Does anybody want to hear that? I should save that for later. I should save that for later. I'm getting off my point. That'll be for another time. So.
Okay. Great value pepperoni is $2.58.
Yeah, but are you putting that whole thing on there?
Probably.
That's like
it's only a 6-ounce package.
I'm gonna like match. I'm gonna match like what a Pizza Hut would be. That'd be like. I looked up pepperoni pizza. There is a pepperoni lovers pizza that costs $15 at Pizza Hut. So if you're gonna litter it with pepperoni, that's probably the $15 one. If you want to like have what we see here, probably only have to use half of that thing. So
it didn't look the packaging didn't look very big. I'm pretty sure it would take it off.
It would be totally edible. Oh, one more thing about pizza. Make your own sauce. Don't use overpriced. Yeah, I have a garden outside. I have tomatoes and all that stuff. But one more, because I just got pizza last week. It was someone's birthday. I went to them. They got pizza, and the pizza. Do you like when the cheese, like when you pick up your pizza, and I'm like talking here, like that you can't, where my hand is, you can't, that's where the pizza's at. The pizza slice, to get the pizza out of the box, like the cheese stretched all the way up here. It was one of those ones where it stretched all the way up. Is that a sign of good cheese to you, or do you want it to not go that high?
I would want it to stretch.
You want it to stretch the whole way up there? Have
Yep.
you ever had like super stretchy cheese? It's a pain though. Like it got to the point where it started falling off the pizza because it kept on stretching.
I'll manage.
You'll manage? All right. You can't buy half of a bag of pepperoni though. It's sunk cost whether you make one or five. Oh yeah, but that's what I mean. I'm like, I would use that to make more pizzas. So I'm like, I would have, you could buy it, and that's where I'm going with this. Anyways, you get the idea. You could either make it at home, put some effort into it, or go out to Pizza Hut, $10. Everybody always says there's like a value associated with your time. Right? So here's a Big Mac. Did you ever get a Big Mac like this before? I don't remember that ever. I came close
No,
though, but
not enough lettuce.
that thing looks
The only
amazing.
Big Mac I've ever had is more lettuce than beef.
I love Big Macs. Back in the day, anyways. The new ones now just super tiny. I remember the last time I bought a like not last time, but second to the last was a couple of years ago, and they asked me what size of Big Mac do I want. I'm like, what do you mean, what size? That's what I know. It went all downhill. This website says it costs 77 cents to make one, and I'm like, there ain't no way it costs 77 cents to make a Big Mac. But would you rather make your own Big Mac for, I'm assuming, $2, or go out to McDonald's and buy it for 5 to 6? I don't know. I think I could. I think. I think I would actually. The pizza I can make. I think the Big Mac I'd probably have McDonald's make it. As sad as that sounds, because I like the French
Yeah,
fries
I'm the
too.
opposite. I'm the opposite.
What you
I
would?
think I think the burger's more makeable at home. I'd less likely burn down the house making the burger because I could use the Foreman grill and I'd have like real beef, not whatever McDonald's calls beef.
I feel like the
And
pizza's easier.
the only thing I would need is Thousand Island sauce.
Yeah,
I'm sure I can find that
the
some
special
grocery store.
sauce.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like exactly the same. It
Pizza
might be the
dough.
same, but
Pizza though, I'd have to put in all the work. I'd have to make the dough. I'd have to smash out the dough, roll out the dough, spin the dough in the air while singing an Italian folk song.
did you
That's too much work.
did you ever make a pizza before? Oh man, I'm really going off the path. Did you ever really make a pizza before?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't. I got to college. I worked in the cafeteria, and they said trial by fire, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because I've never heard that, right? They're just like, get out there. They got there, and they're like, hey, make a pizza, and I'm like, no one showed me how to make a pizza. There's like, here's some dough and some sauce. Good luck, buddy. And I'm like, okay. And then yeah, it was a disaster. I don't know what they were thinking by doing that. But I had to make sandwiches, I had to make pizza, and no one showed me anything. It was quite a day. So yeah, it's you made pizzas back in the 2000s. Sink or swim. Yes, it was sink or swim. It was very terrible. So here's another thought, not making stuff, but beer, right? I could go out to the distributor right now, buy a case. Depending on the brand, you could probably get a beer for $1 or less, right? Like you go out there, you just throw it in your
Yeah.
fridge and all that. But when you go out to the bar, it could be $4 to $8, $9, depending if you're fancy or not, right? But why do we do it? It's the cost of convenience, right? So like even just delivery. When you get your pizza delivered, right? I know Domino's, they don't charge extra as well. I haven't done delivery in a long time. I'm pretty sure there's no delivery fee, but you pay a tip, right? And that in that way is considered like a convenience fee, I would think. So what do you normally tip? Is it like 20, 30, 10%, anything like that? I normally do 20 when it comes to
Um,
like,
It really depends on how much money I have on me and how good the server was.
okay. Okay, so that's convenience fee. Yeah, when you think about going to eat out and all that, there's a convenience fee. They're going to charge you more money for, them making it, you being there, and at the same time, also, the service. So there we go. We got some tip. So then, yeah, tip it in America. It's on everything now. I remember getting like some boba tea. It's the first time I've seen like on those tip machines when I was getting boba tea, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? And I gave a tip, but I didn't know that those kind of things actually had them on there. So it actually surprised me. I don't mind doing it, but it just caught me really off guard. I think as I'm seeing it appear more and more, it makes me rethink how I tip in the future. So here we go. This is the part where I say if you say anything bad about the people that wrote this on Facebook, you will be banned. You'll be instantly banned. I'm not even going to give you a warning about it, okay? So, so here it is. Out here on Facebook was some little talk about, we had talk about playset pricing. And playset pricing has been something I've talked about over the last freaking 2 years, right? Like how, they were, I've always said they were expensive and at this point, they've come down and adjusted to how the market actually was. And as you can see here, this is Weiss Schwarz, Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl. This is your double rares. And as you see here with these listings, if you click into it, they're going to be more because it adds in shipping and all that good stuff. But just looking at face value for pricings on a double rare to be this low, you could obviously imagine what the playset pricing is. And we don't have to, because there was some kind gentleman out there on Facebook that did this for us. So this is not my picture. I pulled it off of Facebook. And as you can see here, you could get a playset of 405 cards for as low as $46.11. Now, someone else went out there and made their own little post about how they were looking for a playset and, like what they were willing to pay for it. And this caused quite well, I wouldn't say quite a commotion. How about like some decent back and forth between some people? So the whole point of this exercise that I was going through here was the cost of convenience. So if I tell you a playset of Bunny Girl is $46.11 off TCG Player, is it right to then go out onto anywhere and ask that sellers match those prices? And I know the answer right away. That's not even like a real question. No, it's not. $46.11. There's no point in even asking anybody to do that. I know this person wasn't even talking about this right here. They're asking about a different set. But what is a proper price for a playset then? Given, just think back to all of this, right? Because there's a point where if I showed you this pizza and said this pizza at Pizza Hut is $25, when you can make it at home for let's go with $5.41, will you still buy that pizza, or will you decide to make it? Same with this Big Mac here, which you could say is $6, and that's 70 cents. 77 cents cannot be right. That is crazy low. But also the beer, right? If you could buy your own beer, shove it into your own fridge, and all you have to do is uncap it. But then you go to the bar and they say $20 for the beer. Well, most people would say, screw you, I'm gonna just buy my own and drink it at home, right? So what is a realistic price that needs to be, or is it like a percent? Is it like, do we have to add double the amount? So 46 becomes like near $100? Like, what's a good amount? You want to give it a shot, Audrey?
I'm having a little bit of the dilemma when this. I didn't comment on either of the posts where this came up this week.
Yeah.
And the reason being is I don't have an answer, because there are a lot of feelings in my head over this issue.
Go for it. If you don't want to say it, you don't have to say. I could just go for it.
I'm gonna try to word everything as not fire starting and nice. I'm in a good mood. I don't want to burn the word.
Oh yeah, no, it's really just, what would be a fair price to put on a playset?
I think it's fair to ask a seller to match TCG Player.
Really? Wow.
I think it's also fair for the seller to go, no, it's not worth me sorting the
Okay, yeah, I mean that's fair it's fair to ask, yeah.
It's fair to ask, and I would hope that you would ask nicely and the seller would tell you to screw off nicely. Or the seller might just say, I am so sick of having Bunny Girl cards in my boxes, done, and ship it out to you. That unfortunately, the value is so bad on Bunny Girl because the set was barely playable when it came out years ago in Japanese.
Right.
And everybody, the difference between it and Relive is Relive actually might have a chance of having some value because nobody touched it. Bunny Girl, everybody touched it looking for those secrets. And when me and you first started doing these lives a long time ago, one of the things I brought up was how I was terrified that the singles market was going to collapse for non foils. And this is kind of a sign it's getting there if it hasn't, if we don't want to count it as already. And so I do think, if I'm buying something, because at that point, if I wanted to be a bit of a jerk, I could say, well, I'm getting those cards out of your hair. I'm actually giving you money for an RR that's so unplayable that players won't even buy it at 19 cents.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you really wanted to negotiate hard and be rough, you have all the room in the world to ask that. The seller could say, no, I'll just sit on it and hope it becomes valuable and as it gets rarer. Yeah, totally fine. Totally acceptable option for the seller as well. It ain't worth me putting together the playset to sell it to you for $50 and shipping it out and, all that jazz. The seller could also go, okay, fine, I'll sell it to you $50, but it's going to be like $15 shipping because I got to pack it and ship it out. I'll send it to you priority or something to make up for it and try to bring in some extra dollars that way.
How about this? I changed the question. What would be the price of you, like if you actually wanted this set? I'm not saying like about the playability and all that. You are a lover of Bunny Dreaming Girl set. You're a lover of Dreaming Girl set. You want the play set. What is a number that is acceptable to you to buy a playset of this from somebody? Is it really going to be that 46, or is there like a dollar amount that seems okay?
Okay. See, this is why I didn't speak up, because a lot of my feelings are very mixed. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think on the face of the earth a playset should be under $100.
Okay.
I actually am, want to gag at the thought of a playset being under $100 and that it's actually happened in our game.
Yeah.
And it's the epitome of everything that worries me. So if I knew the seller and I had a good repertoire with the seller, okay, White Sack King sells me stuff.
Yep.
A lot. I bought a few playsets from him. He's a buddy of mine. He said, look, I'll give it to you for $100. You don't have to deal with shipping. We don't have to deal with shipping because I'll just bring it to you to the next event. Okay, I'll give him $100 for that. The convenience of helping my buddy out, who is a friend of mine, or an LGS, or someone that I have a reason to be loyal with, is for me is worth. I'll give him $100 for a $50 playset for that. I'm paying $250 for my Spy X family to a friend who occasionally pops in here on the chat. Okay. So I already know. I know going with the start of it, I'm overpaying. But it's a buddy of mine. It's helping him get his case and get his bling. All right, sure. Right.
I laugh, just so you know, I laugh because Weiss Sack King wrote, I'm her crack dealer, and not because of anything you said. That's what I'm reading as, I'm reading the chat. I'm trying my best off to the side here, so.
So, I mean, and he also mentions he's not going to abuse the cards. Exactly.
Right.
I don't have to fret over, is UPS going to bring it? Or is UPS going to deliver it to the wrong house because my house number isn't on most Google Maps because I live in the middle of nowhere, which is a huge stressor of mine.
Yep.
So for me, give the guy $100 for his time and effort for the Bunny Girl cards and call it a day. Avatar, I think we're going to discuss next. I don't know what the numbers are on that, but if I wanted Avatar and somebody told me 150, sure. But now on the other hand, if you're Joe Schmo on Global and I don't know you from Adam, or I have no loyalty to you at all, I would ask for something close to that 51.75. Yeah, I might say, hey, you got a packet, so how about I give you $70? So I'm still for me, it's that loyalty that's the big difference. Or if I have
relationships.
Exactly.
Yeah, relationships are key, as we have found out as part of being a seller. So let's see. Anything else before I take a look at comments?
No, let's go ahead and look at comments.
All right, let's go. Let's see. Oh, there's okay. Hold on. It depends on supply and demand in a custom market. In college, oh, to read about the pizza. In college, I would have made it as a salary adult. I would pay for the pizza. Yes. Okay, I think it is a percentage up to a point. If an extra 50% makes 75 instead of 50, that's fine. If it's a 50, yeah, that's when percentages and dollars really matter when you think about tipping, or in this case, is buying play sets. So that's what I was partly trying to figure out, like, is there a dollar amount psychology wise that makes you go, if you know a place that's $46.11 on TCG Player, what would be an acceptable amount? Because when you think about it, is it a percent that's going to do it? Is it a dollar amount? Because once you break through 100 and you're thinking about paying 46, that's when you start having these thoughts in your mind, right? Like where everybody else is buying a booster box at 50, $60 and you're paying $80 for a booster box. That is quite the difference in pricing. That's 33% more that you're paying. um, it's simple economics. We love capitalism. Who's going to pay 100, 150, 300 for a play set of cards that you can just scum out in singles for $50? I will tell you my own personal thing about. So I showed you in the past that I actually picked up a Quince 2 playset. I have it. I have it. Like I showed Audrey, I had the receipt and everything. The cards came in. The card quality that I actually got, so I bought it all off of TCG Player, $85, I think it was what it turned out to be. And the card quality was solid. There was just some people that it took quite a while for them to send it. I actually felt really bad because I think someone had to send like 100 plus cards to me. And the majority of them were commons and uncommons, so the shipping was a bit more expensive than I think they would have imagined would be sent. So there was one order that was missing cards, and I actually had to go back and buy from a different seller to get all my cards. I had to actually add in like another card just so I can hit the shipping, because the card that was missing was commons. And as you see back here, let me just show you, right? This thing is 19 cents only, and there's 99 cents shipping on top of it, unless you get $5 in free shipping. So I had to buy an extra card just so that I could hit the $5 free shipping on that second order that I had to do to replace the other person that didn't give me my card. Right, so when you have this sort of setup right here, where you have a place that you buy through multiple people, right? This one says 8 on the left. I know it's really tiny. Here we go. It says 8 packages, $51.75. This one says 7. So you actually have to go through 7 or 8 people to make these prices happen. And I was trying to sit here and think myself, what would it cost? What would be my expectation of somebody selling a playset and me actually doing it, to actually collate out? It depends too, right? Because I know, Audrey, you've shown a picture of your playset for Hololive 2, right? That it looked really nice. Like the playset itself, how it was
Oh
packed and
man,
everything.
you guys, I think he's in the. Let me see if he's in the chat before I give a shout out. I thought I saw him. There he is. If you guys need something, like, No Dizzle is the person to buy it from. I've ordered 2 things from him, and they have been immaculately shipped. He should do a YouTube video on how to ship items.
No, you know why you don't do that? Because then other people will sell the exact same playset and push them out of the market. You don't do that. You don't give away your secrets. But no, go ahead.
No, it's beautiful. Now, I usually don't keep boxes that I get play sets from, because they're usually just thrown into like a shoebox or something. But like, I'm literally going to be keeping it in the box he provided, and all the cards were individually put in little packets of sleeves for each card. And it was like, wow. I
Yeah,
felt bad pulling out the R's to start building Gura, because I'm unpacking this beautiful art of a packing job.
yeah, you were thoroughly impressed, as I was, because I haven't seen playsets like that. I've seen playsets before, but seeing that picture definitely was really nice how you packaged it up together. So as you can see, there's a difference, right? So I was like trying to think in my mind. You get like a big, you get one of those card hold. What do you call them? Those big white box thingies that people send playsets in.
Yeah, the white card
B
boxes.
something. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'll go with that. White card boxes. I have them. I just have no reason to talk about them normally. You ship them. It's normally in great quality because people want you to return as a customer. With TCG Player, not to say that some of these sellers don't care. There's a decent number of sellers that have sent me wonderful looking items, great card conditions. So I'm not saying anything bad about that, but in general, when you're thinking about commons and uncommons, or maybe even rares, you have this chance when you're buying this big amount of cards that it's going to be damaged. And I was like, I think, like you said, I think I put my thought process into $100 if I really, really cared about this. If I was on a budget and I saw $46.11, you know what? I think I'm gonna just buy the 7 packages and go with that. I mean, I did it for Quince too, right? I bought it at $85. That was, I know it's not 100, but it was right about there. So I think at 46 though, I could probably splurge a little bit. If you're on a budget though, I don't knock anybody for going for the $46.11 route. It's just a lot of packages that come your way.
Expect one of them to come in 4 weeks late. And
Yeah,
you're gonna
yeah, it
open the
depends.
cards
There you
and
go. If you really wanted to play with
you
it
know,
in a certain amount of time, because yeah, my Quince, I think the last package took roughly 4 weeks to get. I think it was the last bit took 4 weeks to actually get. So this is the other downside of all this. Well, uh,
but I
getting
mean, now I want to defend the sellers a little bit here on this
yeah, no,
one.
go ahead.
When you're ordering, 100 commons from them, number one, they're commons. So they're not the only benefit they're getting out of this is thank you for taking those out of my box and getting them out of my way. So I can kind of understand not really rushing to ship them out. You probably only paid, 55-cent shipping or something stupid. Or you bought so
Free,
many commons that made it free
free. It was
shipping.
free. It
So
was free.
yeah, it's free at that point. So they've got no motivation.
Yeah,
I mean, in a perfect sense, of course, every sale is important and you should have customer service for every sale. But let's be real, we're all human.
yeah.
Oh,
This right here, I think, is the hard part about support your local stores or your wise person, because I don't know. I mean, some of these, if you look, even though you have these packages, some are like bigger type stores, and I don't know if you're would you defend those bigger type of stores, because it's not just only like uh, backpack sellers that sell on TCG Player, right? If you go on TCG Player, you will see there are some local game stores that do actually sell on here.
oh yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do. I don't know where I land on all this. I know it always is hard to go on Facebook and see like a post with a million like back and forths going on there, people getting a little personal, like a clown faces on there. But I mean the numbers are the numbers. These are real, right? This isn't made up. The person that pulled this TCG Player, put this order in is someone very I don't want to say serious, but um, these are real numbers. That's my point I'm trying to say
Yeah.
here. So it leaves you with like, do you support? Are you going to go support somebody that actually builds play sets, run a store, and may charge what? How much at this point? How much would they charge for it? 125, 150? If there was one of these places that still had it, did they drop the price, or they just always leave it the same
I think they would drop the price and to move it.
to move it? Yeah.
I mean, I talked to a whatnot seller a couple weeks ago, and I was trying to work out some deals with him. And he's dumped. He was ready to dump several play sets at $100. Unfortunately, I didn't get the deal done before he had mailed them out for TCG Player Direct. Actually,
Okay.
I was a little annoyed because I wanted something out of it. A friend of mine wanted something out of it, and we probably would have knocked out most of them between all of us. And he was doing $100 a play set, and one of them in particular at $100 was a really good deal.
Yeah, $100 is pretty crazy. But that's not all sets. So I know you were worried about like prices on the secondary market like completely collapsing. I think in this case, Bunny Girl or Dreaming Girl, anyways, that's okay because there was a lot open. The reasons why it was opened, right? Was it more for the collector side? So this was
Bushiroad got their money out of this set. I worry about the businesses like Ideal 808, who, rips for singles for TCG Player. I worry about them.
I don't like, and well, hold on. So I don't, and the reason why is because there's another side of that equation. So right with play sets come shiny foily cards on
Right.
there. So it's not like the play sets are their only way to make money out of a case.
That's true. That is very true, and I've said that many times on this channel.
Yeah. So that's why I'm
But
like, as long as those shiny foilies even out the case pricing, then I still have no issues. It's only
right,
when it's only
dealing
when
with
those foily point be, and this is a Bushiroad. Well, it's either Bushiroad or too many people buying it. And what I mean is because remember this set is one with no signatures on it. So them delivering a product that was destined to fail, well, that would be partly on them. So if you just want to look through these, wait, actually, I need let me see. Give me this one, and then give me this one.
Okay, so this is Dreaming Girl here, right?
Yep, that was what the playset was.
Okay, so I mean, you basically, I think Dreaming Girl was 2 SPs, if I remember
Yes,
correctly, based on
that's what I
so
thought. Yep.
if your play sets are 100 and your SPs max out at 150, I don't think you can make your case money. Well, if you hit the $500 my secret, you can make your case money back.
Right.
I don't think you can otherwise with $100 play sets or
Oh,
$50 play sets in
no,
this
no,
case.
you can't. And that's where I partly put the
That's kind of where I'm
well.
going. Oh, that's not good.
I, so actually, should I blame Bushiroad on that? People knew that there was no signatures on this and continued to buy it. Yeah, like the stores have that decision to make. Do or stores, sellers, whoever you want to say, they have that decision. They had the information. Should I buy this with no signatures? And someone whispered into their ear and said that there's a My Sakurajima card in there. You should buy this. And there's serial numbers in this. You should buy this. So I guess it's partial blame on sellers, partial blame on Bushiroad. But yeah, this is where I have the problem when you put out sets like this that was destined to fail, and now there's a bunch of people hurting for it. But it's
I mean, okay, let me play devil's advocate or a little bit, or let me say I'm spitballing ideas that I'm thinking out loud that I'm not sure if I back them or not, but I'm throwing them out there because as I'm thinking of them. With Bunny Girl,
mhm.
everybody was chasing Mai. Everybody wanted to chase the Mai secret because it's big money. Outside of the fact that Mai is big money, do people actually care about Mai? When these sets are getting ripped as hard as this one is, another one we're going to discuss in a little bit, I think. I'm pretty sure we are. Quintessential quintuplets. Quince was kind of saved by the fact that the players market offset it and bought bought cards because the decks are still good.
Right.
And when you have a Bunny Girl that was total freaking trash and everybody's ripping it for either they love Mai or they want Mai clout, there's nobody to buy it. I mean, yeah, there's probably some Mai fans out there, but I can't say I've seen anybody actively go, oh my God, my life revolves around Mai Sakurajima, so I need to own play sets of everything she has and,
Well, that goes back to
and money.
that goes back to when I said your waifu is not my waifu, right? If
Right.
I wanted anybody, it'd be Rio Futaba right here. Here we go. I love her. She's great. If you told me I had to buy Mai at like $500, I would laugh in your face. I'm not buying that. So just no way. I would buy. What I would do is instead I would buy 4 or 5 of these cards instead of buying one of those Mai's. To be
I
perfectly
mean,
honest.
I only watched like the first 6 episodes of the show before I had enough of it. The girl with the glasses is cuter.
Oh, yeah, I love Futaba. So, and
But
yeah, and people like right, Lancerlings wrote ample time, knowledge beforehand. People knew ahead, and this is just how it worked out. I mean, there's other sets that are right. You knew it wasn't going to be good, like play wise. You knew there was no signatures on this thing. People were going to open it because there were serial numbers all over the place. There was a lot of things that went wrong with this set. And here we find ourselves in this position at this point. So unfortunately,
yeah,
that's not it.
I just don't think there's a secondary market for the set at all. No
Not
player's
me.
gonna buy the singles to build a deck. Everybody who really needed to have these cards ripped them. I mean, I've seen hundreds of this set ripped on whatnot and drip.
I mean, you can see what the case's price is on $700.
Yeah.
So veering off, that's what I mean. Like to see the play set at this price, it's not really a surprise to me. Um, not at all. The other, when you look at other sets and other playset pricings, you have to like factor in everything that was going on with it. But this explains why this thing's $46.11. If I was a seller, if I had a playset, I wouldn't sell it for $46.11. There is no way. I will take that thing to the grave with me. But I know there's other people that are willing to potentially sell it because, like you said, they want to get the money. They want the money. And it's better than having 405 cards sitting in the corner of a room because you don't want to deal with the pricing. So, yeah, $50 is better than nothing. I totally agree with you.
I guess this is an interesting dynamic because if you look at what'd be a good example? Review Starlight 1. It had those 1 of 99 cards for collectors. It has really pretty cards. If the collecting boom was going on, I'm pretty sure Review Starlight 1 might have done a lot better. But it kind of Bunny Girl is showing us what happens when it's just collectors' interest. And you can look at some of the older sets and really look at what happens when nobody cares outside of players. When the collectors don't care. Because there's nothing in it for them outside of characters they don't know, stuff like that.
I will disagree with Weiss King on most backpack sellers don't want to pay TCG player fees. I've had a few backpack sellers reach out to me and tell me like their stories about being on TCG player and stuff. No one wants to pay fees. No one wants to pay taxes to the old government at $600, but you still do it because a sale is still a sale. Like right what you said, $50 is better than zero, and paying fees is still better than not. That reminds me of like stocks. Not that you want to hear this, but I've heard people say for the longest time, no one wants to pay taxes on stocks, and there's ways to get around paying taxes. And I'm not saying illegally getting around. There's ways you can minimize the amount of tax you pay for selling stock. Like that is actually 100% true. But at the end of the day, for me, it's like I can't imagine not selling a stock because you don't want to pay taxes. It's like if you're paying taxes on stock, you're making money, which is better than losing money. So I just feel like fees and like people make this big deal about fees, but yeah, it takes away from the money you could have had, but at least you got money instead of not getting money. Futaba is best girl, yes. Nodoka is really cool too. Shoko, I love Shoko that anime is so great. I love this anime. When I saw these signatures, you could go back to any of my videos and be like, yeah, you could. I extremely hated the lack of signatures on this one. It's really, I don't want to say disgusting. Disgusting is not the right word. Seeing those signatures on there compared to what could have been, yeah, it really put a bad taste in my mouth. I will tell you, this is one of the smaller stuff that I bought, right? I've always said I buy this stuff. I barely bought any of this at all because I knew what was going to happen. Like I think most people didn't need a crystal ball to see what was going to happen with this set, and here we are, right? $34.99 on a booster box. Again, are these right here? Are they dead? I'm not talking about anybody specifically. I'm dashing through really quick. You can't tell if it's dead because if somebody, again, just going back here, I got another question not too long ago about if you go on TCG Player and you see a box that's low, is it dead? After the time that we talked about on it live, I had it like 1 week ago. No, you still can't because if somebody is willing to sell a playset, and I'm not talking about this TCG players. Let's say someone says, "I will sell this playset at $75." You know what? That is a pretty low price, and you know what? They just want the money, right? They want the money. So how could you say 100 without knowing for sure that this $34.99 box is dead? Unless you do more research into this, but looking at a price that's sitting here on the screen, you can't because these people could say screw Weiss, screw this dreaming girl box, and I want my money. I just want my money and never to think about this game ever again. And it's probably a tax write-off, I think, if you lose money on that. So, or at least it helps with taxes, I would imagine. So, Bunny Girl, that's it in a nutshell. Did really bad. But yeah, the playset is right, and I think if I had to buy it, I think I would probably go. If I was being nice, I'd probably buy it at 75 from someone. But it's one of those ones where if someone wouldn't sell it to me for 75, you know what I'd do? I would just move on. I'd be like, I didn't really want it anyways. I'm just gonna move on with my life. By the way, go ahead.
I'm gonna throw a thought out there. Okay, if somebody has money to burn, it would be at that price. It is so bad that it almost would be worth it to put together a playset. Go with TCG Player. Just go with the cheap. Throw it in a box. Throw it in the closet and wait for the inevitable new anime fan who's new to Weiss to come on and post it a year or so from now. Does anybody still have Buddy Girl? Because I want to play it. And then sell it to them.
Wait, are you just saying what I think I heard you say? Are you saying invest in a Bunny Dreaming Girl playset at $46.11?
It can't get any worse. You got $40 to blow. Want to screw around? Throw it up in the closet. Get it cheap. Go with the cheapest route you can, and throw it in the closet and wait for the inevitable person to say, "I want Bunny Girl."
Yeah.
I mean, because I can actually back this up a little bit as a player.
Yeah.
A lot of tournaments, a lot of stores around the country run events called waifu tournaments. Mm-hmm. Where you come in, and for those of you who aren't familiar with this, basically you play your deck around one character. And with Mai being Mai, because people, I don't see that she's super loved and beloved. Well, she's loved, but I don't ever see money backing it. But you could easily find somebody going, "Hey, I need a waifu deck for Mai," and you go, "I got you a playset right here. I'll give it to you for $100, a year from now." And you've doubled your money.
Dang.
It's not the
damn. To
me, it doesn't sound like the worst idea.
You know what?
Because you can't go lower than 19 cents on an RR. You just can't.
You know what I was?
At the bottom.
And I'll say this because it's like I'm at the point in my life where I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go off into the sunset, fly off to Japan, and I don't know which version of Big B you're gonna get when I come back, because it's like I'm an old man, and I was thinking about like what I really want to do in life and all that, and after hearing you talk like that, Audrey, you might as well just take on over because you hit this invest in a playset at $46. The world doesn't need a Big B anymore. I've done all that I can. You fully converted. You're buying slabs. They have grades on them. You're talking about investing in a $46 playset to sell to somebody at $100 one day. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I think I've done what I can at this point, and I should probably move on.
I won't let him retire, guys. Don't worry.
Retirement. That sounds good at this point.
No, you're not allowed. Nope. I need something to do on Monday nights.
Oh, okay. So this, by the
You're not
way,
allowed.
why I brought this up right here is, remember I talked about this card and how wonderful it looks? There actually was a sale out on TCG Player, $300, $299.99 to be exact. But there's taxes, so it's actually probably more than that if you are in a tax state, anyways. And as you can see here, another reappeared at $325. And this is one of those ones I've talked about where I'm like, you know what, Review Starlight, it got some pretty freaking nice looking SPs in here. But one of the things I've also said was there is a limit. It's like what we just talked about with that playset. If I wanted to buy that playset, it'd be $75. Likewise, with this SP at $325, would I buy this card? Or $299? Like, the answer is no. There's no way. I would see this card, I'd see the price of it, and I would just move on. I'd be like, it looks nice, looks pretty, but when I look at these Review Starlight cards, you know, there's a certain price that is associated in my head, and if not, I just move on. So, I mean, I'm glad somebody actually appreciated this card enough that they say, you know what, it's worth $300 to me. We'll see if somebody else thinks it's worth $325, but to me, it's not. You know, right? Again, I would buy the next set. You know, there's an Azure Lane coming up, which I know there's going to be some really nice, pretty looking cards in there that I could see probably going for cheaper amounts. Even though this looks great, like thinking about card, character, art, all that stuff, the possibility of reselling one day, my money would be on the Azure Lane card than this. Not to dissuade anybody from buying it. If you want to buy this at $325, feel free. In my mind, there's no way I would ever buy it for $325.
I actually have seen some excitement around this card in the collector's world.
No, it's a pretty card.
She is good looking. Her boobs are all hanging.
Yeah, she got the tongue out. I mean, this is the one looks good, but there's a limit.
I mean, it could, with its art, I guess you could make the case that it's the chase card of the set.
Yeah. This set.
That Hikari is probably the best card. The Hikari level 3 that I think was like $4.99 listed. Yeah, there she is, $4.99.99. You know, she's probably the most playable card in the set, but Hikari, yeah, she's boring.
Yeah, she's boring.
She's boring. So,
I mean, if you don't know,
if you don't know the show and you don't know the characters, Pirate Girl is probably the best bet. And you know that with what's the box count at now?
Of how many sold? I don't know. I did not look for a long time.
Check your box count.
Someone bought some recently. Anyways, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm doing this so I don't lose count. 10. We have 10 boxes sold on TCG Player. 10 boxes
total sold on TCG Player.
Yeah.
So the person who spent that money probably has one of the few that are actually ripped in the country.
Right.
I mean, literally, he or she might only have like one of 3 of that card in the world.
Yeah, but we had that talk before. Does that make this thing a grail? Should this thing be like $5,000 then? Because there's only like 2, 3 of them.
I don't think so, because you have to have people want the grail.
Right.
But there are people who would really enjoy knowing I have one of 3 in the world. That is kind of a cool factor. That's why serial numbers.
I guess if they knew this set was going to be bad, they should have just slapped serial numbers on every one of these things then. And just called it a day. There's only 5 of these that exist in the world, because why not? But yeah, that's I'm like, what would be the number that you would pay for this? Ignore that we know it's sold for $300. What's the limit that anybody would pay for this?
I don't pay for signs unless they're girls that I really, really like.
No, just think about the art. Like you're just staring at the art, right? We're at a museum somewhere, there's an art show, whatever. You stare at this picture on the wall, how much would you pay for it? And you just throw out a number.
$10.
$10.
I'm serious. Like, I don't buy
175.
I don't get excited about anime art that isn't girls that I really like. I'll go stupid for cuckoo bling.
And that's where
that's probably at some point in the show today.
That's where my head goes. This is wonderful art. but I can live without it because I don't know in the end what it really is. So
And Weiss King is saying crap character, and I don't care for her art. Weiss King actually played this mobile game at one point,
yeah, I
which
love
is
that
more.
art.
I haven't even done that,
This art's great.
so he actually knows who she is.
Because I don't have a picture of this and somebody actually holding it because this thing is so rare. But you could
Yeah,
see with the gold and all this happening, even the drink. If they were to properly foil this thing out, this thing would look pretty amazing. I doubt there'd be that kind of heavy foiling all over it, just because it's an SP. But this card right here has potential if they were to like go insane with the foiling on it. That this art would be actually really amazing. Oh, here we are. 175. Yeah, that's why people grade cards. Are there any anime museums? There are, right?
um,
Yeah.
not formally, but I know of an artist who does conventions whose house is practically an anime museum. I've sent you pictures of my house, and my house looks nothing compared to his.
Yeah, I'm sure there are. That'd be really neat actually to see. See an anime museum. Yeah. Steve the NPC. We talked about dead boxes, so hopefully you caught that. You don't have to be mowing the lawn then. So that's what I wanted to bring up with Review Starlight. It's an interesting set. Did horrible, but yeah, there was an actual sale of an SP on TCG Player. There you go. So yeah, that's nice art.
All right, let's give the seller a game reward for an accomplishment.
Oh, well, well, they're happy. They sold it for $300. It's pretty amazing, actually. So you just need to hit the right amount money. I guess you just don't settle. Okay. What's next? I think I'm
Are
done
you
with
gonna
plays.
are you gonna bring up the other playset that we were talking about?
No, I didn't have any plans on it. Even though you thought I was gonna bring it up, I had no plans on it because
Yeah.
it's really like what would you really pay for? I mean, I can bring it up.
This one I think's an interesting one because it actually is seeing play and stuff. I'm actually surprised at how low it is.
No, it just got opened enough. So,
Yeah.
thinking about play sets again, one of the ones that was pretty low in price is Avatar. You can see it right here. Your high card. That is ridiculous. $5.99 for. It's actually $6.98 for this card with 33 listings. That is pretty crazy. Oh, but people have like one. So that's a pretty high listed card.
It's played in pretty much any build.
Well, yeah, but like look at all these. 59, 71 available, 31, 71, 57. I mean, you could tell which ones people are playing. It's easy. It's right. I don't need to know anything about this. If I see a card with 71 sellers and I see one with 33 and another one with 31, I'm going to just assume right away that people are using those cards. For whatever reason they're doing. Maybe they love the card, maybe they're playing with it, but no matter what,
Well, it also could depend on rarity. What's the
this is double rares.
Okay.
The,
It's only
the
double
right
rares.
this
Okay.
page is all double rares, so it's just
Now the 91-cent girl actually gets played a bit.
this one.
Yep.
So, what did you want to talk about with this one? How much the playset actually cost, or
I'm surprised because I thought it would float a little better, but now that I'm thinking about it,
no? People open like a million of these things, so just so when you have Bunny Girl, Dreaming Girl, I keep messing that up. When you had Dreaming Girl, people opened it, they weren't playing with it, and that's what led to the excess of the double rares and the playset being what it is. Avatar, different story. There is people playing it, but there's a whole lot of people actually opening this thing, right? Like if I just show you the SPs, I know there's secrets, but I'm just going to show the SPs. Look at this one, 28, 23. Well, yeah, this one's the trial deck one right here. But 28, 13, 23, 12, 18. That is a freaking lot of SPs, which pretty much tends to tell you how much of this stuff actually got open. Especially still since, you could see people actually bought these. So to actually have these prices the way they are and the amount of listings there are, a lot of this stuff got open. That explains Avatar very easily. about why the playsets are what they are. It should be reminiscent of Seven Deadly Sins, but higher. Something similar to, I would say, Ruby, right? Probably better Ruby comparison than
Yeah,
Seven Deadly
probably.
Sins. Yep. So there you go. I mean, to me, it makes total sense. That's why Quince was the way it was. Quince 2 was the way it was, right? That's how I picked up a playset at $85 because a lot of people opened it. I mean, now if you look at Quince 2, the playset, not $85, but yeah, Avatar makes sense to me. It really just depends on how many people really want to sell this thing. Oh. Anything else you want to say about this, Audrey?
I hope they never do SPs that look that bad ever again.
Wow, that's brutal.
Oh, they look terrible. I've seen them in person now, and it's like this is what we're supposed to get excited about.
I mean, you still got the SEC. How about this thing? Do you see this in person?
FCC's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's freaking nice.
It's absolutely stunning, but
Yeah.
the others.
So it recently sold at $500. That's pretty crazy.
Huh. Switch dropping too.
Nice. No, it's back to 720. So could have been just someone trying to get rid of it. Who knows? But back to 720.
Get their money back.
Okay. All right. I'm done unless you have anything else to say on the playsets.
On the playsets, we're good.
Okay, great. Moving on. I know you had Love Live, but let me just scroll through these real quick. I didn't have this up. We got our card of the day on the Japanese side. So anybody with me on the Dengenki Bunko journey? So cards. So you still you don't care about this set?
Yep. I mean, I've actually seen the show with this sign, but it was interesting.
Let me just flash through these. So, yeah, no, I'm pretty much not done. I like some of these sign cards that I'm seeing, but after I got my 86, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I know which ones I'm gonna have to purchase and find when I'm in Japan. So, but some of these cards I know people are really excited for. This one, I forgot I even watched this. I didn't forget I watched this anime. When I looked at the cards first, I was like, these characters look so familiar. And then I'm like, and all anime kind of look like this. And then I'm like, no, I remember her. So I actually watched this anime. It didn't stick with me all that much because it was just an okay show. But then I'm like, oh, would I want these? I feel like maybe if I get it, I might be a little disappointed if I don't pull the 86 cards. But yeah, those are the previews for Dengeki Bunko, which is really nice. So, but yeah, 86 is where I was at. I was pretty much there. Are you a Da Capo fan at all?
Actually, Da Capo was the first set I ever owned in Weiss.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, he's always
my
nice.
my LGS could get Da Capo and Rewrite from Heart of the Cards. So I went Da Capo and
look at that
then
one.
went Rewrite.
I actually didn't look at any of these cards until literally right now. So
actually, speaking of that, today is the 11th and about 3 hours ago was the 11th anniversary of my time in Weiss officially.
What? How do you know that? How do you know that?
On July, I came up with my Facebook memories, but on July 31st in 2012, I walked into my LGS after ordering some trial decks from Hammer Girl, and I went to my shop owner, and I said, "You're pretty much going to think I'm completely off my rocker, but I think we can run this game in your shop successfully, and I need you to order me some boxes." And I had a good reputation at that point for running events and stuff, so the shop owner's like, "Can you prepay for a box or two?" So I did, and he ordered them in, and my Weiss group's been going ever since. So
it's awesome. 11 years.
It's had different versions, but and different players come and go and things like that. But me and Ben are still the only two OGs.
Yeah, the survivors. The survivors of what is Weiss Schwarz.
Yeah. That was I forgot about that today. I was like, oh yeah, today's our anniversary.
That's pretty crazy. That's congrats on making it. Do you regret any of it? Do you want your 11 years of your life back?
Not even close. Nope.
Okay.
I've had too much fun. It's been there's been some bad, definitely been some bad, but there's been
Okay.
a lot of good.
Yep.
And there's been, the pair pull out times are usually worth it for the good times. Mm.
I will say, so there's a another part of the reason why I wrote my title the way it is. So I need your help for anybody that's ever been to Japan. And I know with COVID, things have changed since then. My sister keeps going, you need to change more money because we're going to have to use a bunch of money when we go to Japan. And I'm like, don't, I've heard that, like when you go to vending machines, when you go to restaurants that have those ticketing systems out in front, you have to pay in cash. So I fully understand that. But I'm like, you could use a card at a card shop, right? Because I fully intend on September 1st, when Dengeki releases, I will be at card shops. I already have it all planned out of which ones I'm going to, which area I'm going to be at. This is 100% happening. And I'm like, I don't think I need to have money at a card shop, right? I'm pretty sure you could use a card. If not, I don't know. Then I'll get some extra money, but do I really need to have like a crap load of like money? I know you could use a debit card at ATMs to pull money out, but I can exchange money now. I still have time.
One of my locals got to go to Japan through Worlds, or English or Japanese Weiss Nationals,
Hmm.
and got to participate in Worlds. And he burned through some yen. He I actually would lead towards be safe and go with cash.
And uh,
He kept complaining on Facebook that he kept complaining, I had to go convert more money again.
yeah, no, I know that, but I'm like card shop. Like I should have enough money, I think, for like when it comes to restaurants and all of that. I'm pretty sure. Like
I'm
my
pretty
sister's gonna go on a buying spree. I'm not. If the only thing I'm really having to buy is like cards, and my wife wants some like beauty products. So, and even then, I could get that at like stores that will take credit. All right, you want some beauty products? She just came in from mowing the lawn. It is really dark out. Hello. I made some bad life choices over the weekend, and my wife was there to watch me stumble. Literally. I didn't make bad life choices. I had fun. That's what she said. I had fun. So JoJo looks cool. Yeah, this is kind of crazy how many like previews we get, because on the English side we have so much coming out, and it's like here's your one card for the day they give you. But then on the JP side, it's like you could tell there's pumping a lot of stuff out because there's so much there. So just use 7-Eleven. They accept foreign cards. I think it should be okay. Japan is pretty cash based, but I think for card shops you'd use credit. The conversion right now I think is like 130. I was thinking like 138 is where it's at right now. Let me see. Yen to USD. No, I need to flip it. 142. One US is 142 Japanese yen. 142. Oh my god, it got worse.
That's going to be good for you on your
Whew.
visit.
Yeah. No, that's why I want to change ahead of time. Then I know like what I got to. I know I could pull from an ATM. I will tell you, my debit card is in a drawer somewhere inside of this house. And I say that because that's what I do with it. I get a debit card and I just throw it, and I never activate the thing. I have not used my debit card in whatever amount of years since the last one came in, because I always just use credit card. As in, like I pay it off and all that stuff. I just have no reason to pull money out of the bank. If I wanted to pull money out of the bank, I go to the bank, pull it out, and then I have it with me. But outside of that, like I don't know the last time I used an ATM. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. The benchmark you usually see in better times for Japan is 100 to 105. That's why I always use that in the video. I know that's not the correct equivalent, but it's just way easier to do that in my video. You're looking to go in October if I can get a ticket. That'd be cool. Yeah, no, I'm afraid because it's supposed to be like typhoony. Typhoon. It's really warm, so there's a higher chance of typhoons. It's gonna be crazy hot. So, uh, how much do you see the 86 SPs going for? I don't know. I honestly have no clue. I'm gonna hope it's cheap so that I can pick it up. I mean, this one is the like my number one. Out of the 86 SPs, this is the one I want right here. I mean, I definitely want Shin and Lena here as well. I think that would be cool. I want this is my order 1, 2, and 3. Price wise, I have no idea. I can't even fathom a guess at this point. Like this whole the Yankee Bunko set, I honestly am having a struggle like trying to figure out what the SPs are just because there's so many of them.
Really going to come down to how many SPs are per box. If they do
Yeah.
the 9 SPs per box, like Uma Musume, it's gonna really hurt the price, like it did Uma Musume. If they don't do that, then hang on to your hats if you want hollow.
Yeah, I think at best I see 6. That's just my guess that they would do 6. And I would like it to be 2 author, 2 illustrator, 2 voice actors. That would be ideal. But the bad part about all of this is what they did with the set was, right? They classified all these as SPs. So I can't say that they would actually do that, right? Like if there was like an author rare, illustrator rare, and just your regular voice actress SP, then then I could see 222. But this one is like, could it be possible? Would they actually do it where you get like 6 authors and none of the other ones, right? Like because they all named them SPs. Like you're just random luck. You just somehow ended up with 6 author cards.
That doesn't. I mean, it's possible, but that doesn't sound very Bushiroad-ish.
Yeah.
When they
Well,
have when they have different things like that, they usually give you set numbers of things.
yeah. No, because that's what happened with other sets, right? Like with the climax OFRs. With OFRs, they pretty much had it evenly broken out with climax OFRs versus characters.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're one for one. They had a set number of each that they were going. That's why I was like, if they did 2 author, 2 illustrator, 2 voice actors, I think I would be cool with that. That sounds pretty fair for me, especially since the set is 64 SPs. That's quite a bit of them. So, yeah, I'm just struggling to at this point to figure out how much.
Second, I could pretty much answer that question there. It's going to be the Seiyu signs. Japan definitely supports their Seiyu, and when there have been artist signs like in Nanaha A's, they weren't worth the cardboard they were printed on. I make jokes about my $2 sign that I ripped out of a booster box, and it was a artist signature. Now if the artist signature is a decent card, that might save it a little bit, but the tier is definitely going to be Seiyu, character, and then artist.
I could see 6, but yeah, with prices, I don't have a freaking clue. This is one of those sets that I really don't know. It comes down to the fandom. I feel like there's going to be a whole lot of opening though. That's why I asked earlier, Brandon, about you saying that you bought a case. You're hoping for the 86, and you're going to get a chance with at least getting a case of it, but not a freaking clue. It just depends on how many people like a certain set, right?
Yeah, because it's 80. The question is, okay, SAO is universally popular. Hollow has been a popular waifu for years now. Is 86 popular outside of the mech fans?
Yeah.
To create the demand for it.
Yeah, I'm not a
huge
that
I know that are into 86 are like into 86. So
Yeah.
I'm not trying to doubt anybody's fandom, but I'm just saying the wide spectrum of people that are going to go on TCG or UUT the night it releases and hit that buy button as fast as they possibly can is there going to be enough of them going for 86 to push the value up? Or, or there are only going to be 5 people who want it, they all get theirs and they're done.
I feel like there's going to be enough. And maybe that's just me just thinking too hard about it, but I think there's going to be enough. I'm not a huge mech fan at all.
Yeah, exactly. Weiss threw it out
all.
there. 86 is not on the level of Slime, SAO, Horror Heat, Book Room, or Zero, and that's kind of what it's. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad show by any stretch of the imagination. I watched season 1 and actually enjoyed it, but I just don't. I'm talking about its popularity overall because that generally is what determines prices in our game these days.
I think it's pretty popular.
Or lewd, but she doesn't have any lewd cards.
Yep.
And oddly enough, Hollow does not have any lewd cards. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they didn't want to go that direction.
But it's Hollow. She's never wearing clothes.
Apparently she is. I have 3 instances of it right now on my screen that says she is. Oh, yeah, I think it's popular enough that it'll be a pain, especially when you think 64 SPs. So I know how much I bought case wise of this stuff, and I am not taking the chance. I will be there in a Japanese shop somewhere looking to pick these up. So that's where we are. That's where I'm at with this. What did I even have in here? Here you go.
Vincent, when you buy an English case, you get a playmat. If you buy a Japanese case, one of the booster boxes are going to have a go first, go second card as your exclusive.
There you go. Yeah, it's not. I don't know if they're reserving that for like SRs or some of the lower rarity ones, but we shall see what they do with the card art.
I'm gonna make a hot take here. Dengenki Bunko doesn't need that art to sell.
Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't need it at all.
Genie needed that art because whoever heard of most of those shows and light novels and stuff, etc. And same with Fujimi. Dengenki does not need it. Dengenki will sell no matter what because the characters are awesome.
All right. There you go. So here you go. You got this SAO 10th light novel version. Yeah, they didn't go that direction for this one at all, which I actually love. I respect it. They're like, we got some characters, we got some really awesome art. This is all you need. It'll sell.
Hollow would have been really easy to slap naked on a card.
Oh yeah, and they know they'd make lots of money for it. It really just comes down to, I wonder who actually picked the art. I mean, I think it's a collaboration, right? Where
a lot of this is stock art from like light novel covers and things like that.
Well, yeah, but I bet they had some input on it. You know, like
yeah,
like it wasn't just Bushiroad deciding what the art would be.
Well, I know that these companies provide the art to Bushiroad, is what I've heard.
Yeah.
So if they're sending, their covers and their official poster arts and things like that, then that's what they got to use.
Yep. So I don't see anything wrong on my screen at all. Oh, going first, going second. Okay. Kirito is evil. No. Yeah, that's it's gonna be a good time when this thing comes out. I'm hoping everybody's excited when they're opening this in Japan and all that. So, because I'm gonna be excited. I'll be the one.
Looking forward to seeing it ripped and whatnot.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
I'm really hoping people who know what these shows are get on there and buy it and actually hit stuff they want. Pizza Girl's gonna really sell popular and whatnot.
Laid Back Camp season 3. I cannot wait. I thought the movie was just okay. I watched the movie and it was all right. It was missing. It was missing what the normal season was like, I think, to me.
No, Dizzle, I think you're right on like the general audience, but I do think there's going to be people who go, "Oh my God, Hollow," and go nuts, or "Oh my God, SAO," and go nuts, or "Oh my God, Akira Yukihime," and go nuts, or Oriemo, or 86 or whatever. I know for a fact I saw somebody get really hyped when I got to tell him that 86 was coming to in Dengenki Bunko. And he immediately asked the store, if the seller on the stream, if he could pre-order boxes. So
Pizza Girl is from Ground Control to Psycho Electric Girl. There you go. So if you want to watch that anime, you can check it out. I think it's you can see some of it on YouTube. You can definitely see it on YouTube. Not that I'm condoning that, but yeah, you can find it out there.
speaking of watching anime,
did you watch the vending machine?
No, I did something
The vending machine's great.
Okay, I'm going to give some advice to chat because this is a channel that talks about staying within your budget and being responsible with money.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a show that you look at and you just know that if you open that can, you're going to like it.
I get it.
Keep it closed. For the sake of your budget, keep it closed. Just put it away. Ignore the fact that there's this really hot strawberry blonde. Just ignore it. Do not let her seduce you with her starry eye.
You just
because
need
it's gonna
to
cost you a lot of fucking money afterwards.
You just need to not buy stuff. you just need to watch the anime and not buy stuff.
That's not how anime fandom works, sir. You gotta simp and you gotta buy merch if you know it's a hot strawberry blonde with a star in her eye.
I don't know.
after the stream last Monday, I was like, all right, I'm gonna shut some people up and go watch Oshinoko. And yeah, I'm already down 200 before I bought the playset.
There you go. You got sucked in.
I bought Bushiroad clear card packs, a playmat, merch, like random merch, a stand-up acrylic for Ruby, and like a keychain and some other stuff. My playmat's a Comic Head exclusive mat because because I'm a terrible human being and I've wanted a loon mat for years. And Ruby looked really good in this mat, and so I went ahead and bought that. And I'm supposed to be buying tires. I had to buy tires this week, so I'm like all broke today. And I blame it on everybody who told me I should go watch Oshinoko.
I didn't tell you to watch it.
Ruby was hot. I blame you all for this.
I didn't tell you to watch it. And remember, for anybody out there, it is coming out to Weiss Schwarz Japan. So that will be a product available at some point into potentially next year, I guess.
Which one? Oh no, Oshinoko is in December.
December, there it is.
Yeah.
They didn't officially say that yet, even though there is pre-orders out there for it. I saw someone taking pre-orders for Chainsaw Man in English. They had a date of February on it.
I thought they gave us a date at the last stream.
No, they didn't. Everybody was like, what the hell was Chainsaw Man and Licorice Recoil? That was the two that we didn't get dates for. Yeah, we did it. I saw someone selling it with a date of February.
No, I'm waiting on David Young to decide if he's buying a case, and then I'll buy one of his play sets for Oshinoko.
Okay.
It's probably how this is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to hunt down a Ruby sign, and at least one of all of her SRs. And any other foil variants.
I find that I can watch anime and not have to buy stuff. that's all you need to do. You just think about your budget and be like, I can't buy that, but you know what? I at least can enjoy the anime. So that's where I'm at. Zom 100 came out, the 4th episode. That was really a lot of fun. So yeah, this anime season is so good. I have a lot to catch up on. I was gone all weekend. So I was at a barbecue event. That's what I was doing. I was supposed to be judging, but there was a team that needed my help. They needed somebody to help them out, and I helped them out for 2 days. And what ended up happening was the second I walked up to them, they handed me a beer. And then the neighbors cooking next to them came over and handed me a beer. And then we got slushies that were apparently alcoholic. I knew they were, but they gave me the strongest one, and that was just how my weekend went. So that was not so good. But I was supposed to be a barbecue judge, and I turned out being like helping out a barbecue team with his thing. It's a lot of
It's really
fun.
fun, actually.
It is a lot of fun.
They gave you booze. I mean, that sounds fun. Sounds like
Yeah,
you did well.
yeah. It was yeah, it was not so good. It reminded me of you have a limit. Everybody has limits, and that was the day. I didn't throw up. The girl though next door, she threw up, but I hung on. I hung on. I survived the day. I survived the weekend, so that's what I was doing. I was supposed to be judging all weekend, but I need to. It's like what? People gave it 6.48. I love the vending machine guy. I love this dude.
To respond to Joshua Bixby's comment, I can also not buy stuff, but not when it's a strawberry blonde, ganky girl who's wanting to be an idol, forcing her way into the idol industry despite the fact that she's bleeding clueless. I mean, she's like written to be an Audrey Harem girl. It wasn't even fair. I had no freaking chance. I mean, it was like, yeah, we're gonna wait this trailer to make Audrey spend money.
I did not snort any tequila, but I definitely could have been that guy at that point. Oh, I didn't check it out yet. Undead Girl Murder Farce. There was too many. That was the one I haven't. There's like 5 of them that I have not watched yet. So that is one of the ones I have not seen yet. So it's really good. Did you rate your barbecue as the best as a judge? No, because as a judge you are not allowed to drink any alcohol. But since I was helping a team, I did not. Oh, I actually had the run. So if you ever watched Barbecue Pitmasters, there is a turn-in time. You have, if it's due at 12 o'clock, you have between, they open the receiving table to turn in your entry from 11:55 to 12:05. So you have that 10-minute span. The guy handed me the box with it takes me 2.5 minutes to get there. He handed it to me with 2.5 minutes, so I had to run. I was running in 90 something degree weather, holding a styrofoam box with very nicely laid out ribs without having so I couldn't shake the thing at all because then it would mess up the presentation. So I had to run somehow and not spill or fall or trip or anything like that. It was an amazing time. So it was crazy. He apologized profusely, but I got to eat a lot of barbecue. It was a lot of
I'm
fun.
kind of confused why they would have you run and not the guy who actually made the barbecue.
No, because he has to make the next thing. You have to turn in chicken, ribs, pork, shoulder, pork butt,
Oh, okay. So this
and
was a more
brisket. And
this was more
there's 30-minute time intervals, 12, 12:30, 1, 1:30. His
okay.
person
All
couldn't
right.
come, so then I had to help him. So I was taste testing. I was making that styrofoam box that he has. If you've ever watched that show, you'll know inside of that styrofoam box is just not meat. There's
Yeah,
actually
you have to put
green stuff inside. So
green yeah,
I
and
actually had to take parsley and rip them from the stems and fill a box with it. It took me like 15 minutes to make a box full of parsley so that they can lay meat on top of it. And I told them, us judges, we don't judge the green stuff. You just have to. You don't even need green stuff inside of it. Honestly, you just put meat nicely placed. But having the green makes it look prettier.
yep.
So people still do that. But
Oh,
yeah, it's insane what they do. Yeah, so I had to do all that stuff. I was cooking, helping out, running around. It was yeah, but I got to eat a lot and I got to drink a lot apparently. So it's good. Anybody should do it. It's free. You just have to sign up for a judge class. You pay for the judge class. You there's an annual membership, but I bought the lifetime membership. So all you do is sign up and you can be a judge. It's pretty awesome. You get to hang out with people all weekend. I'm gonna be cooking with that guy sometime so that I could be a master judge. You have to cook with a team to become a master judge. So I will be a certified master judge not too long from now. Oh. And poor anime needs a Weiss set. There is a ton of stuff in this season that could be Weissed out at this point. We already know My Go is making it. That's happening. That's a given. So do
well,
you?
yeah, Sunshine in the Mirror is confirmed, so
Yeah. Yep. Saw that. Oh, Shadowverse. Do you think Kidani's coming to the United States for Shadowverse? Or is that not a thing? Did you see him in the UK,
Yeah, I
Kidani?
saw him because I know the person who met, was one of the people who met him and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Where's the freaking
I mean,
picture?
I know he travels abroad because one of my LGS owners met him in Singapore at a gaming show. So I know he does. Now, if he travels out here, it's not going to be to my part of the world, I doubt it would even be yours, unless he went to New York City. But
Yeah,
it'd probably be one of the LA events.
this dude is not coming to where I'm at. There is no way Kidani shows up. I mean, I'm gonna go, Kidani or no Kidani, but I think it'd be really cool to actually meet him. That'd be neat. Uh, Bushiroad International? Man, they really need to update their freaking. Here we go. Kidani! Take a look at that guy. Can you imagine then just sitting in your LGS and you're gonna learn how to play Shadowverse? Man, how many layers he got on?
Weiss King, actually, Kadani did show up at one of the
There.
Shadowverse Evolved demo days in London.
Yeah, it's right here. It's right here on the screen. Yeah, this dude showed up. If you want him to promote Shadowverse, there he is. There's your Shadowverse ambassador. So yeah, I don't think he's coming to my neck of the woods. It would be cool though, but no, definitely not. Yeah, it'd be fun to meet him. I went to one of those learn to play Shadowverse events. It was fun. Yeah, you definitely got to do it. I think it's cool. You get some stickers if you like them on Facebook or retweet or something like that. You get some PR cards again if you go to the Bushiroad demo. Is it the demo caravan? This thing? No, that's an old one. I'm trying to find where they say what stuff you get. But anyways, if you go out there, they got some free stuff for you. It exists. It's pretty cool. So here it is, sticker sheet. You get some stickers, you get some PR cards. Oh, I'm gonna do it.
Ooh, we've got an interesting question in chat we need to address from Lessery.
Hello all, I want to start as a collector and investor. Should I buy some box and open half and stock the other half? How much did you spend per month? Sorry for my English.
If you're looking at a collector, Weiss product, due to having set amounts of hits in the boxes and the cases, can leave you if you open with dead product. So if you're investing, for example, you probably want to get a case and keep it sealed because you don't want to risk the integrity of the hits being removed from it for the buyer. And a sealed case has a premium because it's assumed to be untampered with and it's assumed to have all of its hits. So what you're going to need to probably do is go, okay, I want let's say you want Avatar. So you want to crack some Avatar for your personal collection. You need to set, okay, I'm going to buy myself a case of Avatar to rip for myself, and then I'm going to buy a case to invest and stash for investment. I want to do 6 boxes of Avatar for myself. I would if you have the money, I don't suggest doing, 6 boxes because of the whole issues with the set numbers and dead boxes. And people, if you have, I'm selling 6 boxes of Avatar, everyone here in this chat's going to automatically, including myself, are going to think they're dead. Our first thought is going to be that it's dead. Why are you only selling 6 boxes? So you need to, if you can fiscally afford it, bite the bullet, go with the case. Depending on what you think, also you need to be able to guess what you think is going to be worth an investment. What sets are going to have demand in the future. You can't, if you buy everything, I know that's what like Alpha Investments tell you to do. but that can get really expensive, and I don't know your budget, so I'm more conservative about things like this. So a case of Avatar would probably be decent, because Avatar, people are going to love Avatar 10 years from now. Um, HoloLive might be safe in 10 years, because the HoloLive brand and franchise just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But you definitely want to separate what you rip from yourself and what you would choose to use as your investment stuff, totally separate from each other. And there's definitely, rip all you want and have fun and get your stuff, but your investment stuff, you really need to strive towards that sealed case. Or if you're going to go singles, buy this. If you're going to invest in singles, like for example, the REM SP from ReZero Set 1, you want to go ahead, you want to get her graded, and then just stash her away, instead of going and ripping ReZero boxes trying to find her. Good Lord, that'd be expensive. So that's kind of how I think you should attack it. I'm going to let Big B take over the floor and see what he has to say, because he may have some different ideas. Because he actually does more investing than I do, but that's how I would approach it personally.
Oh, this is too much. This is way too much. So real quick, yes, I only this is my first time going to Japan. It's gonna be sweet. But how do we say this? I think a lot of investing, you have to really take a deep look into yourself on a strategy. So when I first started all of this, I knew going in how much money I had, my time horizon, how much I wanted to spend monthly or on a continuing basis, how I'm going to actually fund all of it. Like if you don't, I think people think about investing in cards, and you really need to separate the short term and long term investing, right? I've always been 100% long term. If you're in it for short term, that's not investing at all, right? You're either flipping, but I don't consider selling it shortly thereafter after release is any sort of like long-term investing. So you really need to, again, set how much you are willing to actually spend and all that. I'm one of those that actually do not care if it's in a case or not. Like on a personal level, people trust the fact that what I'm showing you on the screen is a HoloLive. Actually, there's one underneath my face. So if I just turn myself off, you can see it right there. There's an SP in the corner. That probably is not good for my videos that I put it at the top right, but there you go. So for me, I look at people that I trust, and there's no 100% trust, but I can find people that I would say 99% of the way I can trust, that when they sell me something, that they're not going to rip me off. So it all depends on your time horizon. And I think as you go further and further away from the release date, right? 3, 4, 5, 10 years, 20 years outside. Not that we're going to get to 20 years, but the farther and farther away you go, the less it's going to matter that it's inside of a case. Because to me, I think people are going to open these if they so choose to open it, knowing in the back of their mind they may get something or not, but they really just want the experience of it. I always said that if you ever open one of these years from when they'd actually release, you should expect nothing in it. It's more a collector's sealed piece versus there's going to be an amazing card inside of it. Again, because we know of the nature of the drop rates, that there's only a set amount of them in a case. So what would my expectations be? I don't think there should be any expectation at all. If you buy a box for 1,000, if you buy a box for, let's say, $800, and I'm not using that number in particular, I just said $800. That's why I retracted the 1,000. So if you buy a box for $800, what I would do with it, I would never open it. I would leave it on a shelf somewhere and just stare at it, because I bought a sealed box for my collection, not because I'm hoping something amazing is inside of it. Like with Pokemon, you could say that's different, right? Magic the Gathering, you'd say that's different. With Weiss Schwarz, there's no guarantee that there's going to be anything inside of it, and that's how I treat it. So you definitely need to figure out how much you're willing to spend. So I think there is a world in which you can buy not a case of cards, not a case of boosters, and still have it to sell on the internet. And people do, right? If you look at some of the older product, there's not as many of it, and people are willing to just buy it because they want to have it. We're in the 2023 era where there's a lot more of these boxes, so you're going to have to wait a little bit longer on that. But I think there's still a world that you can do that in. But like Audrey said, and other people are saying right here, you could go ahead and buy some singles, right? There's some things that you could probably piece out that you think is going to be good in the future and buying it that way. So it's really knowing about your budget. If you didn't see it earlier, even Audrey said maybe buy a play set of this stuff for $46, and then if somebody wants it in the future, potentially sell it for $100. Here's that playset price. If that didn't make any sense to you, feel free to email me somewhere. Where's my email? That's not it. But this is what I have. If you ever have questions, feel free to email. My email turnaround time is not so great lately because I've been busy with work. I mean, you can find me on Twitter, but that's how you can do it because the whole word playset might not mean anything to you. Dead boxes might not mean anything to you, but yeah, just let me know. Okay, but it's a lot to handle. You again really need to know your budget, how much you really could spend, and how long you're willing to do this. Because as we are seeing, there are many people out here that have tried to get into this thinking that they could just make money instantly. You see that with Pokemon, right? You hear it all the time. People tried to get it, thought they could get the newest release and just sell it and instantly make like 50% of their money. You take a look at this, right? It's $34.99. Some of these people bought it for 50. Some people bought it for 50, 40, 50, 60, 70. And it's $34.99 right now. So it's not one of these things that you would just take lightly. Because as I've always said, if you have the money, you could just buy a CD, like literally a CD. Go on any investment website, buy a CD, get it for 5%, which is better than losing 50%. You just need to know what you're willing to go through. Mine, I'm happy just throwing it into a dark hole, and one day I'll open it up for myself or sell it if I ever need money. But at this point, I have no plans on selling it. But that's my point. See, so reputation matters. When we were talking about playset, when you talk about relationships and all that, if I were to one day come out here and tell you all, if I come out here one day and tell you all I am selling my stuff, some of it's not in cases, I would hope that some of the majority of people would trust me that they're not dead. I mean, you don't know for sure if I did anything to them, but I will tell you that if I actually do one day sell it, they're not going to be in cases. I'm going to sell them, and you're just going to have to trust me on that. I would hope that people trust me, but you never know. It just all depends. As I can go to another seller that I trust and say, I'm going to buy from you, even though I'm not buying a whole case, and be pretty sure that you're not selling me dead boxes. So it all comes down to like what it is. So if you have that reputation or trust with people, I think you don't actually have to buy a case. But yeah, if you're opening, you definitely need to have it separate. Like I would never intermix the two of them, where you're saying you're opening a bunch of stuff and you're having some for investment side, because it's way too easy for people to go, well, look up your profile, see that you have signature cards out there and you're selling boxes. That to me is an instant, yeah, I'm not gonna be trusting you all that much. That's when you start getting into that gray area. And I don't want gray. I kind of want plain as day white. I need to see that sunlight. So having signatures for sales along with a couple booster boxes is definitely a big no. Okay. Hopefully that helps. But if not, like I said, email me. Yeah.
We won't mention it, but we also have a Discord. Well, he has a Discord. If you join the channel, which I think is $1 a month, you get access to it, and there are a lot of higher level discussions that I would expect on a Discord. There have definitely been a few times where I've learned some things. Let's put it that way. There are quite a few collectors and investors on that Discord that can really help you out as well.
It's $2. I don't
Um,
want to throw anybody off, but it's $2. But yeah,
oh,
it's
$2, okay.
and again, it's
Also,
go ahead.
oh, go on, go on.
Oh, so basically, I only do that really because anybody can reach out to me on Discord that's part of that group because I don't put my Discord name really out there. So it's more because I've been so busy with work, I don't want to have like 100 messages all of a sudden, and then I freak out and don't know how to answer them all. Because then I feel like I have to answer you all at the same time, and I don't have the time for that. So that's all. I would love to one day just open it up for everybody. That would be great. But then it's like I don't think I have the attention to give to everybody. I mean, if you've ever watched Alpha Investments, again, nothing bad there. Um, he has that Patreon, right, where he has people pay, but then you can send them messages. Same with me. I'm not as big. I don't do this as any sort of full-time job or anything, right? I even give you money back from buying from TCG Player in the form of giveaways. So I'm not doing any of this for money. It's more for the fun of it. That's why I said when I come back from Japan, I don't know which version of me you're gonna get. It could be the version that wants to enjoy life. It could be the version that doesn't really care about money and cards anymore. It could be the guy that just wants to talk about anime all day. I don't know which one you're getting, but for the time being, for the next month, you got the Weiss Schwarz version of me until I decide what happens when Japan happens. It's going to be a very retro. So if you've seen my Haruhi, just to tell you where this is all coming from, if you've seen my Haruhi Meister set opening, that was around my birthday, which was in August. So this is my birthday. So my birthday is what I like to do is actually just have like really some peaceful time to think back about like how the last year went. Really take a look inner in me and see like if I'm enjoying the life I'm having and all that stuff. So, um, being that it's around my birthday and I'm going to Japan and having time to really think about things and actually be not working for 3 weeks, I don't know what's really going to happen in my mind. So it's and there's nothing bad with that. It's more just I don't know. Do I really want to just talk about cards and money all day, or do I want to talk about anime like that vending machine one, right? So who knows what it'll all be like in the end. Yeah,
Um,
I will fingerprint your box. And it's
CR7. First off, just to point out, it is 18 boxes to a case. If you go through, get a sealed case from a respectable dealer, you shouldn't have a problem with all 18 boxes being crap. Because of our fixed rates. Though, one thing I do want to point out, you can definitely do better than $1,200 a case.
yeah.
Yeah,
What, 1200?
that's pretty easy to beat in the Weiss community. Um, so do some homework on that one. I I've seen cases under 1,000 for new upcoming sets.
Yeah, you could definitely get it under
So
1,000.
yeah.
Oh, show. Yeah, don't be paying 1,000. Unless it's like something crazy, like everybody wanted it and you missed the pre-orders for it. That's
Yeah.
probably the only time that's gonna happen. But
But even then, you could still catch it by somebody who ordered, 10 extra cases and needs to move them.
yeah, because that always happens. I like not sarcastically me saying that. I mean like that happens. That does happen. I've seen that happen on like the last 3 sets, honestly. So
There was a person who asked whether they should rip or get singles. Where was that at?
oh hey, one quick. This one right here. So if you're trying to buy cards from because I didn't get to do this the other time. Pokey Mike out here, he's doing Weiss Schwarz videos and stuff like that. So if you want to watch a video on how to buy Weiss cards direct from Japan, it's right here. So you could just check that out. There you go. He goes over it a bit. So that would be one way to do it, okay? So I know someone wrote Tenso. I think he talks about that in there. So that's how you can find it on Yuyute. There you go. Okay, now go. Sorry.
To the person who I'm trying to find exactly where that question was. Click on it. Um,
Singles. Singles?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the exact question.
Oh, I totally missed it.
Yeah, it was. Oh, Vincent. Okay. Well, at least I'm assuming it's Vincent by the way the name's written. Um, as far as buying SPs, it depends. I would say it depends on if you want to move your play sets, your extra do you want to keep your SRs? Do you want to move your SRs? I don't think it's as cut and dry as buy a case or buy SP. Um, if you have the gumption, the drive or the effort to break down the entire case, sell off what you don't want, and try to make some money back, then a case might be worth it, depending on the set. Um, like as you saw, Bunny Girl would probably be by the SPs. Or a set or like Review Starlight that isn't very popular, just good. But well, actually, I take that back. I got myself confused. Um, you gotta kind of do your homework to see if the set is gonna have enough money for you to make it worth it. If you have to go get the SPs you want later, odds are if you buy one case, you're not gonna get the SP you want. I can tell you, I think I can count the number on one hand of the times I've opened a case and got excited about like getting the SP that I wanted or the SSP.
That's gonna be
Um,
sure for Degeki Bunko. 64.
oh man.
Yeah,
Whew.
64. You're not gonna get the one you want. I mean, you're more than likely not going to get it. You probably have like a 10% chance of getting the SP that you want if you buy a case. And that's just us guessing. That's just me guessing. 10%
Yeah.
shot.
So, I mean, if you're going into it only caring about the SPs and you don't want to do the effort to make your money back on the box on the all the other cards in the set, just buy the SPs. Don't put yourself through it if you don't need to. I know a person who bought, I think it was 3 cases of a set. His SSPs were horrific for what he wanted. And I mean, he had even sold his playsets, and this was a time period when playsets had more value. And the person was very upset and will probably never open another case again, which I don't blame him. It was an awful experience.
So you
So
saying there's a chance. Yeah, there's a chance. But a low chance. No,
so I would
it's
say
bad.
if you only care about just to wrap it up, if you only care about SPs, go get your SPs. If you're up for dealing with all the other stuff, then get the case.
I think it depends. I'm gonna go on. It depends. I'm a gambler. I love to gamble. Even though you hear me talk about budgets and stuff, it's my heritage in me that says I want to gamble. I love the casino. It's a great time, and that's part of the budget, honestly. So it's my entertainment budget. I have an entertainment budget every month, but I will say this: if you look at an SP, let me get one, or an SEC. Hold on. Is this the one that I want? I think this is. Yes, this one right here. You see this SSP in the bottom right with her half naked? Yeah, that one costs money. That one costs money. And maybe you can't afford a case. Maybe you can't even afford the card itself. So what do you do here? You have two choices. You either pass on it, wait till you you get more money into the future, maybe years from now, and purchase this, or you go and buy a box, which is like I guess that's how these all go, right? You can't afford it. You're gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna just try to buy 2 booster boxes. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Is that the correct way of doing it? I don't know. Everybody has their way, right? Say that to the guy that won the Powerball, and he bought like 5 tickets. So there's definitely more efficient ways to do it, better uses of your money. But I don't think there's anything wrong as long as you sat here and thought about it. and you spent within your budget, right? Like if you're just going, I got $500 here, I'm just gonna buy $500 worth, I would tell you no, that'd probably be the wrong thing to do. If you looked into your soul and said I paid everything off, I put some money away, and I have $500, I'm right there with you. I'm gonna be standing there right beside you in spirit, opening those boxes and rooting you on. That's what happens. But there's some cases, right, where just looking at the card itself, it's gonna be worth more than the case. Like absolutely, it's gonna be worth more, and then you have to make that decision. Do I buy the case? Do I buy the single, or am I gonna gamble a little bit? And that
Uh,
happens, right? People do that on trial decks all the time.
Unfortunately, there's not a good answer.
No, it's whatever
There's
works
no
for
good
you.
answer because every set's different.
Hmm.
Now I just thought about this and it's like, why didn't I see this earlier? My last case I opened, it was the D4 DJ product. And thank God I enjoyed the anime and needed the play sets out of it because the case was depressing. I kept one of the 5 signs, and it certainly was, she's like top 3 characters, but it wasn't something I was like, oh my God, I have to have this. And if I didn't hit it, I could have bought it for $30. My SSP was the most expensive one, but I was really begging it to be the one that I need the deck that I'm trying to max rarity still to this day. So I was sitting there going, thank God I need the play sets, and thank God I can flip this SSP, because otherwise I was kind of feeling pretty gross and
Yeah,
bad and unhappy. And I think I grumped on Big B's Discord a little bit about it.
I think you did. I'm pretty sure you did,
I
but
know I
it's
was trying
okay.
not to. I hit the $400 SSP, so I was trying not to sound like it's like like an entitled brat, but I was definitely having an entitled brat moment going, but I wanted the $100 SSP. But I wanted any of these signs but the ones I got.
Yeah, yeah. So that honestly, there's no right answer on this. It's more just like, you know what, do what works best for you, but at the same time, don't put yourself in the debt doing it. How about that? That's what I'm gonna
Um,
tell you. That's where I land on. And
Vincent,
make sure to
Vincent. Oh, sorry.
make sure to buy the Mega Millions ticket if you haven't. Mega
Vincent
Millions.
followed it up with another really good question. I'll let you. I'm gonna read it though. When is it best to usually buy a new SP? It probably more hyped on release, so is it better to wait?
There's no real right answer for that. There's none. And the reason why is it depends, right? If it's on the Japan side first, it's up in the air. You'll see a bunch of times where people will try to sell it quickly on Facebook and they under it. You could even say that about Avatar, because Avatar was a English only, right? When you think about what happened with Avatar in this card, where people like buying it for $200 to $250, and now you could probably easily sell it for 500, or at least decent amount of time you could sell it for 500. So um, even though it's hyped up at release, when people have no idea what the price is, that's when you have to. When you look at this card, when they showed you the reveals for it, you had to figure out what you were willing to pay for it. That's something that I've learned with stocks. That's why I could go back. So if I go back to this review Starlight, I don't want to keep bringing this up, but I will.
Review starlights our
Oh
channel's
no,
meme at
no,
this
this
point.
this pirate girl. So the reason why I bring this up is this. So in the stock world, and I know some people don't like hearing about stocks, but knowing about stocks is an amazing thing because it helps you temper your emotions. I think, mine, anyways. So there you could put in this thing called a limit order, which is basically I've talked about Apple, right? So if you wanted to buy Apple, you sat here one day. I don't know what price it's at. I think last time we talked, it was like near 200. But let's say I wanted to buy Apple, and in my mind, I think a great price for Apple would be $175. So my thing, well, my purchase will only trigger when that thing hits $175. If that thing stays above $175, it will never happen. And that is what I think about when I think about these cards, right? So when I see this card, even though the art looks pretty and all of that stuff, in my mind internally, I have a price for it. And if it never hits that price, you know what I say? That's where I go, I move on. I don't care. Because it's at a price where I don't think it's worth it. I'm not going to get the kind of enjoyment I am out of it at $300. Right? If I have to walk past this card and I bought it at $300, I don't know if I'd be happy. The art looks great, but it's not going to make me happy. I feel like I'd overpaid, and then I would doubt myself and all this stuff. If I got it for the price that I wanted at, I'd be happy with it. What gives me the most pleasure? And I think in that same way, with the SPs that you have never seen before when it first comes out, when I think about this, 86 card with Lena on it, Lena, I keep saying her name wrong. It's Lena. With Lena on it, when I think about that card, I have a price on it. Maybe I might go a little bit higher depending on what it pops out at, but that's what you really have to do when you don't have any other price comparisons when the set comes out. You're gonna find opportunities like this where 200, 250 was an amazing price, or you're gonna have times like you'll have this and you have to choose, is this really worth it to you or not? So there is no set because people make mistakes all the time. If you looked at review Starlight when this set first came out, right? Even just not even talking about not even SPs. If you looked at the double rares, right? We saw a bunch of them sell at $2.50. Like someone marked all the double rares as $2.50. And some of them, they got bought. Some were, good to buy at $2.50, and some were not so good to buy at $2.50. But you can see this right here, right? Looking at these numbers, that person buying at 250, was the seller mistaken with their pricing, or did that guy just pick it up at a really good price? You could probably say a combination of both. But I would say that's how I would go about it. You cannot say beginning is the best time to buy, or 5 weeks from now is the best time to buy. You just need to have a price.
Okay. I'm gonna give
Yeah.
my answer to
Yeah.
counter, and mine's gonna be a little. Big B's is a very elegant and mature discussion. I'm gonna give you the emotional, stupid fan answer. Big B's probably in the right long run, but I think it comes down to, for me, it comes down to how bad do I want that card? If I'm gonna lose sleep over not owning that card, I'm gonna get it right away. Because in Weiss Schwarz, things tend to disappear forever. I did not order, for example, I'm trying to max rarity a D4 DJ deck. There was a sign that I put off because it's $30, and I did not think, whatever, I'll get around to getting it. I stupidly didn't think that everybody who's a fan of the same DJ unit as me would have bought them all up. So I'm short 3 of the sign. It was $90 to get all 3. And there's a shot I'm never going to get it because they are gone.
Yep.
I've actually emailed TCG Republic for a refill request on it. I've scoured eBay. I've scoured all the sites that I know of, and no one has it. It is gone, which unfortunately happens in Weiss, more often than you care to admit. So if you're getting something as an investment, if you're getting something as a collectible, I know I'm using very non-emotional terms for those 2 words. If your emotions aren't super tied up in it, Big B's 1,000% correct. And in a perfectly logical Mr. Spock Vulcan world, Big B is spot on as spot on as spot on could be. However, on my side, when I'm dealing with this kind of stuff, I'm a stupid fangirl. And I'm going to emphasize stupid and put lots of exclamation points and underline it. I went out and spent a ton of money because Ruby was hot. That's pretty dumb as far as fiscal responsibility goes. So for me, I look at it as the signs are out. I have to get them before they disappear. Actually, in a couple months, it's going to be a fun race for a sign that I now need. I now know I need 4 of. So it's going to be fun in a couple months on this one. But And so I guess it really depends on how you're approaching you're getting the sign, but I'm going to throw out the counter to Big B side, because that's more of how I would have handled it.
I think there's some people are unwilling to let things go. Like it's just like to me, it's like I know I have a set amount of money, and it either comes down to me at a price that makes me happy, or I just move on. And
Okay, there's something I forgot to bring up.
yeah,
Disclaimer. Do not take yourself broke in the emotional rush to go get the card. That under no circumstances is that good.
mhm.
But if you can make it happen early, get it done. You know, even if I mean I don't even know what the sign's going to be that I've got to pick up. I'm praying it's under 200. I'm praying, but it might not be, which is going to make things real difficult because that's going to be really hard outside of my budget to get done. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find a way. Maybe I start fire sailing some extra play sets to you guys or something.
Yeah, it just depends on what you're in it for, right? Like like I said, if you're investing, you better be cold and emotionless. If you're gonna stand before me one day and say I'm investing, and then I could see all sorts of emotion pour out of you, then you're not. I don't see that as investing at all. You definitely have to have a steel heart to do all of this, right? Like it's tough, and I get it. And we want everything. We want a little piece of everything. We want to buy 20 cases of sneaker bunko, but you got to face reality on what your investment and how much you can really buy. And yes, Mega Millions you can get tomorrow. It goes tomorrow night, I believe. So I do believe in that, buying a ticket. I know people tell you you're just throwing your money away, but you know what? I'm one of those people, you got to be in it to win it. Even if it's just one ticket, I'd rather have it than not have it. So, but my budget does incorporate that little bit of lottery, is what it is. What's my price for Lena? I'm not going to say. It's my internal number. Okay. Uh,
Way that price, unfortunately, I don't think either of us can give you an estimate because we don't know how many signs per case. There's a shot it could be 6, 8, 9 like Uma Musume was, in which case the price is gonna be pretty affordable. If it's 2 per case, oh good God.
will it be
You
affordable?
better start pulling out $1,000 bills.
I don't know. I think it comes down to the IP, because it's like, even if it was opened a lot, there's only still a certain amount of them that will really exist. And if it's like a IP that someone wants, or an art that somebody wants, it'll still there. It has that room to be expensive. Because even Uma Musume had some expensive ones, right? So
Not really. The one card that's expensive in it, one sign,
let's see.
is like a near essential card that you have to play in like 90% of the decks in the set.
The 131. It's been so long since I looked at this. 145. I don't think some of these are going to go that low, right? If I saw a bunch of the Dengeki as $30 or $20, I will imagine, like, if Dengeki Bunko actually goes low as the majority of these you're seeing, like 30s, 20s, 30s. There's some 70s, 50s, right? But if they go as low as that for some of these IPs, I will buy as many as I can. I will say that right now. Like
I
it's
don't
just
see it going that low.
yeah.
I wouldn't get your hopes up for that.
Yeah,
Uma Musume,
$18. Can you imagine $18?
well,
I don't know.
I did actually want a $20 sign, so I
Yeah.
guess I can't talk too much.
Yeah, because in the end, there still is only so many of them, and yeah, I do think that potentially Degeki gets a reprint. But
Dengenki also has Uma Musume. I'm a fan of the franchise, and I can't tell you who some of these girls are.
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure they have like 1 or 2 fans in the world, that really love them and support them, and those girls, they deserve that as good characters. But Dengeki Bunko,
yeah, completely different.
most of the sets have, most of the signs are very well known characters
Hmm.
that carry it just for their character name,
That's.
even if it goes south.
I think it'll have a higher average for sure than Uma
Yeah.
Musume. So, um, we shall
And
see.
if anything, the highest Uma Musume sign I think I saw was like
There was
360,
a
which is,
three something, yeah.
yeah, that's the brainstorming that you play in every deck. Um, Hollow is probably going to be 500 to 1,000. So that's going to bring the whole medium average up anyway. So, and Taiga there could be a ton because she hasn't appeared on a Weiss card.
My purpose.
Or Yemo has never appeared on a Weiss card, and she's still popular today.
Yep.
So
Yeah, so that's it. There's a lot of cards in here. I think it'll do fairly well. I'm hoping that it's cheaper on the 86 side, not because I don't like the series, but I want to get them myself. You will see me on Twitter holding a bunch of those cards from Japan. That's my expectation right now. Unless
one
they don't pull it, I guess. I don't know. Who knows?
you may actually, since you're going to be in Japan at the time of release,
Yeah.
you're actually going to have an advantage.
Hmm.
UUT is cheaper than TCG Republic in the Western market. However, UUT is more expensive generally than the Japanese shops.
Yep.
And if you could find a Lena that had a print line on it or had a slight ding from where they opened the pack, they're going to mark it down. From what I've heard and kind of some pictures and stuff I've seen of Japanese shops, they mark those down really aggressively.
Yep.
So you may be able to like come in and steal some bargains.
Yeah, no. So I've already have a plan for this. I'm ready to do it when I get there. So it'll be cool. It'll be cool to see what happens.
I might actually send you on a hunt for Maho signs from B4DJ.
If I see
I'm not
it.
gonna find them, so I need you to hunt for Maho for
If
me.
I see it, yeah.
I need three. I need three.
Okay, you should have got it.
I should
Um,
have. You're right. I should have got him, but I prioritized Ray because I thought Ray was the more playable card, and I was really wrong on that one. So I should have got Maho first. Really dumb because Ray's the brainstormer and she fixes your climax situation and or Maho. I mean, I should have went Maho first, but the Ray card was so pretty and yeah,
yeah.
and it was more expensive at the time, and I
Oh,
goofed that up.
yeah. It's okay. We
Guys,
all make
I'm not
mistakes.
simping. I am not simping Maho. I'm trying to finish my deck that is a love letter to Rinku, and Maho is part of it.
She's just part of it, yeah. So let's see. Can you hire me? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I can be for hire. Remember, I'm going with three other people. I'm going with my niece, my little niecey. You've seen her on she opened Ruby with me. So niece, I'm going with her friend, my friend. Um, it's all the same person. And then my sister is coming along. So there'll be three girls and me, and we're gonna be out there. So I don't know if their idea of fun is hanging out in TCG shops, but I'm gonna do my little bit, see what I could see and find and get, and then go back to whatever we were supposed to be doing. So this is my little diversion, my little plan for that day. Anyways, try to find some of this stuff.
To answer your question, Lessery, JP is generally cheaper than English.
Generally,
Outside of shipping, it's generally cheaper. Um, so the logic behind that, according to most people I've talked to on this subject, is English print runs are a lot smaller, therefore the cards are more rare. In Japan, especially before TCG players started doing Weiss, there was definitely more options. Like UUT is practically TCG player for Japanese trading cards. If you go on the website, they have Japanese all the Japanese trading cards on their sites. They're kind of a TCG player, but they operate as one company instead of lots of sellers. Um, and also with that smaller print run, English cards tend to run out and disappear a lot faster. So, I reference back the REM sign. Good luck finding a REM sign in English. I might be able to find you one in JP. I don't think we're finding one in English unless it's got an extortionary price on it. I'm not even sure I could give an estimate on what a English REM SP from set 1 would be. I would guess in the thousands. Weiss King, I don't really think so because the one idol set that matters in English is still a $600 deck. So, and the JP deck for it's probably $20. So I'm not sure I'd agree with you on that one. Now in Japan though, Japan does value their idol signs more than English, definitely, but I think scarcity keeps English still higher.
Yep. Okay. I think this is it for me. And no, you will eventually hear. I'm sorry, a proposal to my wife. It was interesting, but I'll save that for another day. Not that I don't want to tell you. It's freaking 10:25. 10:25. Yeah, it's really late. 10:26 at this point. So, but yeah, Azure Lane. Azure Lane's coming. See, so this is what I mean. Like when I look at these Azure Lane prices, not to go back here again, but I'm gonna go back here
Don't
again.
leave yet, Vince. Don't leave yet, Vincent. We definitely don't go away when he says we gotta go.
No,
So
I gotta
don't
go.
leave yet.
No, this is it. Like
No, no, no. We have not covered something. There's something we have not covered yet.
what?
We have not covered the other preview cards that matter. You showed all these other cards that don't matter.
Oh, okay. So we got so just real quick, like when I go back and think about this card, 325 versus what I know is coming, as in these cards. This is why in my head I'm like I could pass on the Pirate Queen at 300 because I see all these other cards here that are coming, and I think October, and they seem more worth it to me even when you compare the prices to them. So if this is going to be what the price is, then you know what, I'm happy moving on to the next one. Okay. Here, real quick then. Where was it? Here? Yeah. Here you go.
All right. So today we got our first previews of Love Live SIF 2. And it looks like it's going to be it's definitely a cooperative set where they're putting in all the Love Live girls. So far the only trait we're seeing is music, so I don't know if there's going to be like an anniversary set to make a deck out of just that. But it does look to be the cards that have been previewed today are massive upgrades for the sets that they're in. So already today, the playability scale without anything else announced is super high. Like that Ayumu card he's showing right now is like the only bad card, and it's not even that bad. It's just I'm doing something different with my Ayumu deck. And like the Sunshine cards, Sunshine desperately needed. So this is one that you could easily see a lot of prices because number one, as you see from me, Love Life fans are stupid and spend money. And number two, people who already have the Love Life sets are going to need these cards. That the Cuckoo there is Kidani gave me a gift, a very expensive gift, but it's a gift. That card is going to actually I'm going to go as far as to say it's going to put Superstar back on the map as a playable set. It fixes all the problems Superstar had because we actually have a way to end games efficiently now. That being said, I'm going to throw it out the chat. If anybody hits that sign, I will buy it. It's the sign I need to spend stupid amounts of money for, and I need 4 of them by December. So I only have like a month and a half to get all these. So, if anybody's got it, feel free to look me up. Yell at me in the chat saying you got it. I will happily come and we'll work something out. That is her. She's got a happy face, and she's cutting up all the secret plans to extort money out of me.
There you go. You get that. You know who to sell it to.
Um, so as a investment set, I already see massive potential for everybody. Even if you're not an Idol fan, the cards are going to be really pretty based on what the cards look like in the mobile game that this is based on. So you've got gorgeous cards. You could sell it to stupid Love Live fans who spend obscene amounts of money. Not me. I'm not one of those. Um, and the playability's through the roof, so a lot of players are going to want it, even if they're not. If they have a Love Life set sitting around and they actually want to play it again, this is going to give them reason to pull it out of the closet. So I don't think I've been this hyped for card reveals in a while, where I'm going, oh fuck, yes, 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 yes. So one, and if you haven't watched Love Live, definitely give it a shot. Um, even if you're not an Idol fan, I think the girls are going to have appeal, and the show is very fun. And then you're going to understand why Love Live fans spend stupid amounts of money, and you'll understand, and you'll be able to understand how to take advantage of us by buying cards and selling them to us, because we all need bling. Love Live fans tend to buy bling. So your case flipping to Love Live fans can be very profitable for you. And I'm sure that I'm not the only one right now. I'm pretty sure there are several people in chat who will happily spend money on you guys. If you guys have Love Live foils to sell to us. I'm pretty sure I'm not alone here. I'm not gonna call out people, but I'm pretty sure. Well, he brought it up now, so I can say it. I'm pretty sure if you hit a Maki SP out of this set, your Tony's gonna, White Sacking's gonna have to cut you a pretty big PayPal cut, and he's probably gonna do it. So, really, just to angle it back to things, I think this is a really good investment opportunity. You say Booyah, this is not coming to English because Nijigasaki and Superstar are not in English, and Bushiroad Matt doesn't like Love Live. So this is our shot to get it. I'm gonna put a ton of money into it. I'm not gonna well, I would double buy anyway, but I don't think I'm ever gonna have to double buy. So because these cards are fixing the cards that we've already seen are showing that it's fixing the sets that already exist, and those sets don't exist in English. So in order to release this, they have to release Superstar at least. And probably probably the rest of 6th Annie for Sunshine and 10th Annie for Muse.
It could one
So
day. It's always a possibility.
I mean, they did review Starlight, so they could go, and realize Love Life fans are worth extorting, but this could be really big. And historically, Nijigasaki has an SSP in it that's $2,000. This has secrets in it. Unfortunately, they're not Setsuna. The secrets are Kanaka and Chika that you just saw, and the Ayumu that you just saw, and the Kanin you just saw. But Kanin has a pretty massive fan base, and and her Seiyu is highly beloved. So that one could be a big deal. And the card is a phenomenal card for the deck. So it's gonna have playability for us players who want max rarity decks. It's got Sayuri date signature on it, and it's Kanin. I mean, it's that could be pretty good. The SPs in it, also just a heads up, the secrets are going to be Seiyu signs. The SPs are going to be character signs. So I don't get a Liu signature yet, but in this case, I'm kind of thanking God, because that finisher for Cuckoo is amazing as a card. So maybe it keeps it under the $200 mark for me. Maybe. So, but probably a good chance. I think it's an investable one, and I don't get to say that about a franchise I like very often. So
Yeah, I have no comment on that one. I don't know. I haven't looked really deep into Love Live at all, so no comment at this point.
he
It,
doesn't watch Love Live because it'll blow his budget.
No, I would just watch it. I would watch it. I wouldn't buy anything for it. I just I know how idle sets have been. I need to do more work on it. That's where I stand on this. I don't know for sure without looking more into this.
Well, if you look at if, let me I've got Superstar's original run pulled up in front of me. The signs in it are character signs, and it didn't have like any SSPs or SPs or like SSPs or secrets. The character signs max out around 128,000 or no, I'm sorry, 120 12,800 yen. Sorry. I don't have comments, so it's throwing me off. But the problem is there are a lot of cards that are just gone.
Mhm.
So, for example, Superstar has its own rarity called Leela Rare, and they took a card, and each copy of the card has one of the other four girls on it. So, you have Kanen Shibuya, and you have a card with her with Cuckoo. You have one with her with Shisato. You have one with her with Ren, and one with Sumire. And those are the Cuckoo one and the Chisato one, which are more show-based fan pairings, are just completely gone, which really stinks because I'm going to have to find 4 Cuckoo Kanens for maxing my Cuckoo waifu deck, most likely with the new finisher. But
Yeah, but you know what
um,
the thing you have to weigh with the whole investment part is like how many people really are gonna go back for it and what price can it really sell at?
I don't think. Well, the reason the main set I wanted to pull up. Let me see if I can find it. Love Live Sunshine. 6 Annie.
Uh Sealed Weiss boxes in English or sealed Weiss boxes in Japan. It depends on the set. I don't believe there's a set rule on that, right? Because like again, Sneaker Bunko was just JP only. It wasn't in English. You could say Avatar was English only, not in JP. That's probably the only way you can compare those two. Um, if you go one for one, like what's a set of SAO 10th anniversary anime in JP or English, everything is exactly the same. Outside of the language, I would say hands down English every time. So that's how I would compare it. But I wouldn't say you have to stick all to English. Something like Dengeki Bunko, if it never comes out for English, I definitely want to be on the side that owns the Japanese box.
If you're not investing and you're just collecting, JP is the way to go because of the affordability and the more option of sets. A JP sign actually kind of drops over time. I was actually just looking up a set to quote it on some prices, and a sign that I know was over $1,000 on release is down to 6 9. Well, it's down to 9,000, so it's probably about 600 now because the set is years past its prime. But generally, your JP cards, a lot of people dump JP when the English comes out version of it comes out, so you can usually get deals there from people as they switch it over to be ready for the big English tournaments, stuff like that.
I rather have the
Yeah,
English one, even though
yeah.
the Japanese version may be more affordable of a signature card. I still want to read my card, and I don't want someone else's trash. As in, like there's a reason why it dipped down in price on the JP side. Not to say someone else's trash, but you kind of just said it right. They dump it.
Well,
Um,
right. Also, though, in JP, there's a harsher, well, until recently, there was a harsher power creep curve. So, as sets rotated out of playability, and then as characters faded into the sunset, and got less popular, and people moved on to other stuff, you know, um,
yeah, but that should also tell you
that hurts the price.
that should also tell you the saleability of that card, unless there's just like some massive popularity jump for that character. Uh, for me to buy something that people don't want anymore, the discount on it's got to be humongous. Like for me to go get that. If you're just thinking for your own collection, great, you can buy that. But for me, it's like it all that factors into like what I'm paying for it. So
Actually, if you're just collecting, I strongly recommend hitting the damaged bin on UUT, because UUT damage cards probably would still get a 9 in most grades. So you can
yeah, I mean, you might
really
not
just go and you can get some really good deals out of that.
you might not care about the language, but there's definitely a ton of people that do, right? Like so, I get it. It's everybody has their own kind of thing, but if I probably took a poll on the newer people that came into Weiss Schwarz, I think they would, if you put them side by side and put the price on it, like this one is $100, where this one over here in English is 150. I think you're gonna find newer people, and this is my guess, they're gonna pick the 150 in English over the $100 in JP.
Nah, I take the JP, but
No, I know
but
you would, but yeah, new
I'm a
people.
very different scenario.
Yeah, because it's just the perspective of it. Like, which one would you
Me,
rather
me and
have?
me and White Sack King both play. Well, I run, and White Sack King is one of my players. A Japanese language format events,
You can't.
LGS.
I don't.
For us, JP, okay.
That's not economic. Like, it's preference on language, right? I don't think you can compare like an apple and orange and say if you buy the orange at 50 cents and I don't even, and the apple's a dollar. Like if you went with the apple, you'd be like, you're not economic because you didn't buy the 50-cent orange. It's more just I don't want the orange. Like that's what it is. It's has nothing to do with economy. I don't want the Japanese language because I can't read this thing. That's what it comes down to. Economy doesn't matter when you have something that you can't read. There's a
Okay.
humongous
Now,
difference between the
now,
two.
Big D, I'm going to play devil's advocate here on you. You don't play the game, so why does the language matter?
Because why do I want a card if I can't read it?
You don't need to read the card though, because you don't play the game.
When I can't read the card, what am I going to tell people about it when I show that to them? Oh, it's just a card with art on it with a signature.
You could, well, I mean, what are you going to tell them otherwise?
And
Since you don't, you're
this
not
is
going
this
to.
is a
I
card game.
right. It's a TCG,
Yeah,
but
and it has words that have meaning. Because if not, then I could just go to any fake card maker and just print, get one of those really cheap cards. Because
yeah.
then all I'm
Well,
looking
funny
for,
story.
no, because all I'm looking for is the art then. What I'm looking for is a card that has a specific art on it that has words I can read and I can prove to people that it's real. But the Japanese one, there's no way I could tell if this is real or not. Like if there's like if the way to tell if this thing was real is if one of the symbols, the lettering was off, I wouldn't be able to tell you that because I can't read the thing. I wouldn't be able to tell you which one was fake or which one's real. With English, I'm actually able to do that a little bit better. I could see the card itself. I know what things are supposed to look like on it. Um, it's just that's like saying why do people? If I could buy a Japanese playset for way cheaper than I could buy an English one, why don't people play JP inside of every LGS in the United States?
Because not every store allows it. That's the big problem.
Yeah, but then you can make your own group or whatever. But that you get the point. Like,
No, I unfortunately that is the case, or else a lot more JP would be played
yeah,
because it
but
is cheaper and because the cards do the same thing.
if people
But
really if people really wanted those
if you're gold,
JP
then you can't.
if people really wanted to buy those JP signatures lower in price over time, they would have, but they keep coming back and buying the English ones. So
I
my
think
point,
now I just because they want to be able to a lot of cases because they want to be able to use them to play with.
no,
This isn't unfortunately
no.
Bushiroad isn't like Magic the Gathering where a Japanese Chandra is the same as an English Chandra. Bushiroad demands that if I walk into a shop challenge, a Springfest or BCS, I have to have the English copies.
Yeah, but even then, the amount of English players didn't grow in proportion to the amount of collectors that came in. And by now, a bunch of these people already know that JP exists. So if people are just offloading their JP signatures, right? Like what we're seeing with Azure Lane, to get to wait for the English ones to come, in the end, they would rather have the English version than the JP version. That's
I
basically
know
my general
I
proof of all that.
I run a Weiss group where that happens a lot, okay? And
Right.
literally, the only reason they're doing it is because they have to have those cards for BCS.
Yeah, but there's other
They're
people.
actually sitting there as they're selling the cards, they're cussing up a storm because of the stupid rule that's making them have to go rebuy the cards.
Yeah, but that's not all of them. I'm not saying those players specifically. You see it all the time with people that aren't players that are just getting rid of it because they want to have the English version. So I wouldn't say it's players all just buying up all these SPs to play with and then dumping them off and trying to get the English. There's collector people that would rather have English versions, right? There's been plenty of people now that have said, I'm not buying the JP version since I know it's coming out in English.
Right. And I understand that. I mean, of course, your native language is an easier buy, especially when your native language is more profitable and will be more expensive sitting in your binder, or if you'd ever decide to sell it. I mean, I totally get that. I'm not totally
Right.
dense. But at the same time, that wouldn't be as big of a deal for a lot of people, well, at least a lot of people in my circles, if they didn't have to have those English copies for BCS.
Right. So well, that's what I
Road
mean. But I'm talking from a collector's standpoint. Collector's standpoint, I would rather have a card in my native language, which is English, with a signature on it, than any day having a JP card which I cannot read with a signature on it. Yeah, English for me. So there's some people that say they want the JP ones. There's some people that want the English one, and I think if I just put those prices in front of people, same exact card, I think the English one would win out, even at the higher price.
Joshua Bixby, I definitely think that's the case for investors and flippers. Mm,
Who cares if the
I,
signature's
I,
in Japanese? I expect the signature to be in Japanese. It's a Japanese voice actress, right? And it doesn't matter if I don't play the game. Like, why wouldn't I want to know what's written on there, right? Like if someone took a card and counterfeited it, made it look exactly the same, they wrote "You're a jackass" on it. I would love to know that it actually says that on there versus having it in some text that I cannot read. It doesn't matter. Like, are we still not at the point that these cards aren't just for playing, right? Just because I don't play on a regular basis, I want to read the words that are literally written on the actual card.
I got you, and I'm not trying to beat you up, so I apologize if I'm
Oh, you're
coming
not
off as
beating me up. I
angry.
just think it's
Um,
it's somewhat, just like I still don't know why. Sometimes I get in my head, I'm like, I still don't get why some of the talks that happen are still here. It's like it reminds me of things where it's like, um, people can't get past it on Facebook, right? Like collectors, flippers, investors, backpack people, whatever. It's the same thing. People just want to read the words on the card. I might not play it, but it's still nicer to see the words in my native language than have it on a different one. And I think that's true for any game, really, right? Because I could go out there and buy like Chinese cards. I could go out there and buy whatever cards, but do I really want it? If I could get the same art with English on it, I would prefer that way better than having some language that I cannot read. Because maybe one day, maybe I'll play it. Maybe I won't. I'd love to have a trial deck where I would be able to read it, right? So it's because in the end, it's a card game, but at the very surface level, it is a pretty looking card that I want to be able to read for whatever reason. Yeah, Google lends it. Who that's not going to be a fun way to do it. I don't want to be standing over it with a cell phone. This isn't like what is it? National Treasure. I'm not trying to like try to convert this to find where where all this gold coins are hidden. Right? I just want a card that I can look at, appreciate, love the art, and read it if I should so choose to.
Like King, I'm gonna kind of. I think me and you as players, we're kind of missing this because
You are, yeah.
we're looking at it as game text. I don't think Big B gives a rat's ass about what auto or continuous effects on the card. I
It's
think it's
like
more
it's
more the card name and
it's the
displays.
talk that we had last week about stamped cards if people know voice actresses and all that stuff.
Joshua Bixby, to be honest, and Weiss Schwarz, the title means little to nothing as far as on the playability. A climax combo is listed by name, and occasionally you'll have a specific card listed by name, but it's very 90% of your cards you don't need the card name for. Your climax combos and your bonds are about it. Or a card that says I'm giving X card power. And that at that point it would reference the name, but most cards are not. Now the title, I certainly would give the title, because the title invokes the situation of the show and a lot of those things. I can totally understand
Yeah,
that.
the little comments on the cards, it'd be nice to read all of it. Yeah,
The
I might
flavor
not be able to
text.
read. Yeah, the flavor text, all of it. It'd be nice because oh
See,
yeah, you could say that for sure because some of the abilities on the cards reflect a little bit about what is actually happening.
now if I take my player's hat off, okay, and I put on a collector's hat, I still think I would be okay with if I didn't even play the game. Like, I'm going to use an example, Pokemon. I don't play Pokemon, okay? I would be perfectly okay going out and buying a Vileplume in Japanese. I'd have no problem with it whatsoever because I'm never going to play the card. I'm buying it for the cute Vileplume art. So I think that's also where Weiss Sacking's kind of coming from a little bit too.
So does the Vileplume have an equivalent in English of the exact same looking card?
Yeah. Yes. But I bought it in Japanese because it was cheaper.
I'd rather the English. I'd
I got
rather
you. I
I'd
got you. And it
yeah.
kind of depends where your priorities are. And for me, I'm kind of going, if it's just going to sit in my binder and I never need to read it, I don't want to spend an extra $5 to get the English copy. You
Because
know,
again because when I show someone if
it's
I show a little kid this card, he's gonna be like, hey Big B, what does that card even say? I don't know what it is. They'll look at the art and be like, oh, that looks cool, and then they'll be like, what does it say? I'm like, I don't got a freaking clue what the thing says. I can't read it. So you bought something you can't read. Okay. um that's where I'm at. I gotta be able to read this. Whether I play it or not, I need to read this. And I think part of the collectability is the fact that you can read it. So
Joshua Bixby, I'm going to assume that's at me. That last comment you made about max rarity in your decks. I max I max rarity very, very few decks in my collections. Okay. I have one that's one card away, two that are done, and one that's 6 cards away. And I didn't even finish one other one. So in 11 years, I've attempted to max rarity 5 decks ever. The reason I go and step it up, and you're right, I can definitely spend a lot less money. You're absolutely right. And in a majority of cases, if you look through my boxes over the last 11 years, 90% of the decks are going to be non-foil. I don't like playing foils because they shuffle bad. However, all bets are off because I'm an emotional idiot when it comes to my waifus. All bets are off. My waifus get the prettiest things that I want all the prettiest cards, and I mean I don't need to know to be honest, all my max rarity decks are in JP. I'd never attempt it in English with English prices. I can't afford it. It's so far gone out of my budget. And the fact that none of my girls would have a max rarity deck in English. But so for me, the card title doesn't even matter. It's Cuckoo doing something in the art, for example. But for that particular girl or that particular set, like D4DJ, it's It's more of a, for me, the maxing is not at all about playing, to be honest. My D4 DJ deck that's going to be maxed is actually a terrible deck. I'm only going to play it out the fly. So that one is strictly strict. I think it would fall far more under my collector self than it would my player self. My player self never wants to play shuffle a foil, to be honest. And my cuckoo deck, my max cuckoo deck, climax screws me constantly on bad shuffles. And I swear it's the foils curling. So, but I think when it comes to the max deck, it's the brain shuts off. It becomes a total emotional thing, and at that point, emotions take over, and I go buy the best of the best to represent my girl. I want the world to think that Audrey Sampson is the biggest Cuckoo Tang fan in the world. That is something I strive for. And that Cuckoo Tang is so important, I'd throw all logic out the window and spend stupid amounts of money on her deck.
Yeah.
You know? So I get where you're going with that argument, but at least in my brain, it doesn't quite work that way because I don't think there's really logic to me buying a max. I will tell you, it is financially moronic for me to do that when I could just buy game pieces. But love is stupid. And love's pretty effing expensive. If it's 3D or 2D.
Yeah, so yeah, I think no one. We're not gonna settle this one. I mean, it really just comes down to what everybody preference wise is.
Well, the
So,
settlement honestly is tell Bushiroad to stick it on the language barrier problem with the cards, and everybody buy what they want and what makes them happy. And for you investors out there, unless the set's only in Japanese, buy English. I think that's honestly the best settlement we'd ever get. And yeah, I agree with you. I think he is starting to crash, so I better shut up.
no, it's not that. It's more just like I don't know what else to say with that because it's like if the idea really is to if you're gonna invest, buy the English version, you know, in the end, why is that? When
The reason when we're telling someone to invest, we have to factor in market considerations even if we don't like them. I don't like the fact that English cards are more expensive. I think it is actually kind of silly, but I understand the reasons why they are. So if I tell someone to invest, I have to tell them based on the factors that exist in the world
but if you could
rather than what I want the world to be.
right, yeah. So if I can buy the JP stuff cheaper, why wouldn't I be investing in the JP side?
I just said as long as I just said I think anybody investing should be buying English if it's available because they're just like if anybody's buying signs for investment, don't buy stamps because right or wrong there is a perception that the Seiyu sign is better no matter what. So just make sure you get those. You gotta unfortunately investments based on perceptions, not how I think the world should work or what I think is reasonable. So when I give investment advice, it does counter what I actually think about things because I have to go and give the best advice possible, which factors in things I don't like.
No, because that's what we were talking about, right? Like on like collecting signs, buying signs or whatever. Like if I had SAO 10th anime in front of me, the JP version and the English version, same price. Like to buy a case of that, you would rather have the English one.
Oh yeah, I tell everybody else to buy the English one because the resale value is better on the English one because there is a perception that it's better.
Because it's in English.
Right.
Okay.
There is a
It's
perception
because
that
it's in
English is
English.
better. There is a perception that because it has English language, it's better for a variety of reasons. So therefore, that is what it is. I mean, there could be, Apple. You going back to the stock market, everybody thinks the Apple iPhone. There's a perception that the Apple iPhone is great. I honestly don't think so. I'm an Android user, but but because of that perception, and the perception that Apple is a good company, their stock is worth a fortune and probably will continue to rise. Now, if that perception goes away, like iPhone 30 blows up and kills a kid, or something like that, and causes everybody to doubt the iPhone success, then well, the perception would be bad. And well, maybe not invest in Apple, you know? that perception matter. I think the perception matters a ton when it comes into this discussion.
So you're just saying people perceive English as better?
Yep. Because functionally, they're other than the language of the card, other than the language of the card, the cards are the same. The cards are the exact same. The perception that English is better is a very Western thing because you go and you go to the Philippines, for example. English and Japanese are both in their second language category, and so they can get a hold of both cards. So for them, it doesn't really matter what language it is because it's both second, foreign languages to them.
Right, but
They
English is our language.
It is. So the perception, because we're in the United States, is that English is better, and that's just a fact.
Okay.
It's I don't personally think so, but it's a perception that has to be factored into the situation, especially when we're giving advice on investing. I I could make the case that it's the same exact card. It's just you're perceiving it as a language you can't read, which is, understandable. Neither of us know how to speak Japanese, and that could be an inconvenience. So you want to go ahead and pay the extra money for the English one. Mm.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think that I don't know. It's
Actually,
just
Joshua Bixby, that's exactly correct. And in Japan, you cannot play language cards. You're not. It's banned from all from play. Now, maybe some LGSs out there would let you play Mob Psycho or Adventure Time or something like that. But if I were in the United States WGP, the rules are written to where I can play an English exclusive. It's really wonky. And if I wanted the trip to Japan, like I could have in 2019, I could not play the Japanese exclusive card because in Japan the rules are you have to play Japanese cards. So they would have the perception that Japanese cards are the better investment and that they're the better superior card. Yeah, and I would say being able to read your cards is pretty darn nice. I'm not even gonna. I'm not trying to say that that's a bad thing. Please don't think I'm that off the rocker. But and as an investor, you're selling mostly to Western audiences who speak English. So yeah, you probably need to have the language of the card that they can read.
yep. That's what I'm landing on. All right, that's it. It's 11. I am done. So you'd say your goodbye, and I'll say mine.
Yep. See everybody next Monday. Hopefully everybody has a good week. Don't watch an anime. My parting advice again is don't watch an anime that you might spend money on because you'll probably end up doing it. And I'll see everybody next week.
Uh, what I would say is depending on how early it is, I buy from Hammer Girl Anime. Me personally, other people could go wherever else. This is the place that I use. But again, it depends on what you're looking to buy at the release because they do pre-orders like everybody else, and there is a cutout. They have a limited supply. So that's where I would point you. Okay. All right. Next Konosuba. Yes, love Konosuba. All right. So everyone, have a good one. Thank you for being here. I'll see you later. Bye. Have fun. Yeah.